Hello guys and welcome to the Hit or Miss podcast. We are on a live episode today. Michael, why are we going live today? I wonder why.
Because we enjoy the title of Saturday morning TV shows from the 80s going live. But no. Just let me double check because I'm not 100% sure we actually are live.
We are live.
Yeah, got you. Okay. Haha.
Now,
I was just double checking.
Okay,
so.
Now, are we both on the Doctor Who YouTube page?
Yes, I can see it now.
Sweet. So today we're going to be watching the trailer.
It's in my feed. It's literally directly underneath. I checked we're live, and then it's on my feed directly underneath. Doctor Who Revolution of the Daleks trailer.
Let's play it at the same time, and then let's give our thoughts as we go.
Okay.
So
we're just going to let the sound play out. We're not going to get sort of copyright struck or anything.
Do you have earphones in?
I do, yeah.
Then it should be fine. It records my desktop, so people will hear what I'm hearing, but you'll only be able to hear what you're hearing. So hopefully we're in sync.
I'll keep it low, no problem.
Right, I'm going to give it a click in 3, 2, 1, now.
How many people in the universe get to meet the Doctor?
Okay, so the Doctor's in prison. I've got here.
Being with the Doctor, you don't get to choose when
prison bars.
Whether you leave her or
yes, Warjack.
She leaves you.
Oh, so they've still got the TARDIS then.
Yeah.
But how's that possible?
If you don't help,
A lot of notes in the old-fashioned old girl.
As
Oh,
of now,
there's the
you
new
will
boy.
see new defense
Wait, what?
The way
at
vibes.
work.
Oh, wow.
What?
machines are going to change the
Oh,
way.
I'm getting Victory of the Daleks
I
vibes,
was
Power
just
of the
gonna
Daleks
think
vibes.
Victory of the Daleks.
Captain Jack Harkness.
Ooh, that's a nice bit.
And
Are you
Winston
feeling insecure?
Churchill
'Cause you seem to
is
need a lot of praise.
Winston Churchill is that guy with that thing like
They look really cool actually with all the up. Right.
that was cool.
Oh, sorry. Oh, ooh.
No, that was scene was in the preview.
Yeah.
People
Oh.
waiting.
Oh, New Year's Day.
Hey, like he didn't know that
Oh
already.
well.
Well,
Yeah, but I'm still peeved about it.
yeah. There's a lot to break down there. So, assuming everyone's already watched the trailer already, I think we should break down. And if anyone's actually listening on, get an alternative device and go onto the trailer, and we'll go scene by scene, and we'll just give our thoughts as we play back. So, Mike.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm just. I know that was a quick reaction, but I just want to share to the Facebook page to make sure we've got everyone watching that we can.
Okay.
So if you maybe just talk for a second about something else.
Right, so yeah, that was a very exciting trailer. It looks very pretty. I think you mentioned that the Dalek scene looked really cool, where the Daleks were flying through the city. I would disagree.
Yeah.
I would disagree, but the scene that caught my attention was the spaceship going over the buildings. That was the scene that I thought, that's a very pretty one. Now the Dalek 3 design is very interesting. They've got orange roundels on the bottom, and of course we'll go into a proper breakdown in a bit. But yeah, orange roundels on the bottom, and then like a red helmet lights, and then also a red and white laser exterminator, which I do not like the look of particularly.
You notice a lot on first view.
Let's just say I'm flicking through it now just to get some proper thoughts. And yeah, it's a decent trailer. Did it get you? Is it getting you more excited?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. The overriding thing that I'm feeling, that the ultimate the ultimate feeling I've got coming away from it is that I'm just still really pissed off about the whole New Year's Day slot as opposed to Christmas. And I can get into that a little bit because it kind of does relate to things that we know. Oh, look, they've released some pictures to the official Twitter feed as well. Handy. Okay, sorry guys, I don't know where Will's ran off to. But yeah, we're still here.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello there.
I've just received some very interesting news.
Okay.
Over here. Okay, what were you on
Okay.
about? What were you on about?
I wasn't really about anything. I was saying, first of all, the Doctor Who website has released obviously 4 screen caps, select pictures, nothing remarkable. Just if anybody's curious, the fam, the guest star, who I'm assuming is the Prime Minister. Another cool guest star who is an actual actor that I recognise from a couple of comedy things that he was good in, but I could not tell you his name. He's a black guy with specs. It's literally all I could tell you, unfortunately.
Right.
And then, yeah, obviously Yaz, Graham, Ryan, and one of the new Daleks, but only its dome, weirdly. So, yeah, I was mentioning that, and then I had said my overriding feeling coming away from this is just annoyance about the still having lost the Christmas Day slot, and like I said, I can get into that because
I'm fuming that the injustice Office went through, because the Doctor would have been such a great finale for Capaldi's Doctor, man.
Exactly, yeah, and my kind of feelings feed into that. Like, obviously, you know, people that are watching probably know this, but the point is that Capaldi was supposed to regenerate in the Doctor Falls, and Jodie's first episode would have been that Christmas,
special,
but Chibnall didn't want to do Christmas, so he was like, "Oh, we'll just leave it and not have one."
I don't
and Moffat had
understand
already.
why he doesn't like Christmas. Maybe he was just his past in the industry. He just tends to avoid Christmas days.
Well,
I have no idea.
I don't know if he may have even. Who knows? He may have wanted it this year or whatever, but he didn't want to do it that year. So Moffat had stepped in and kind of. That's why Twice Upon a Time exists, because Moffat had said, if you lose that Christmas Day slot, once you've lost it, you're never getting it back.
No.
And I think that's it now. That's done. I think this is the 3rd year in a row now that it's been a New Year's Day special. Although last year wasn't really a special, it was the first part of Spyfall, which was the start of the season. But you can kind of count it, I guess.
I keep forgetting, like you said in the previous episode, it feels like an eternity ago, but
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Was this year, and it premiered
This year,
on
yeah.
New Year's Day.
Yeah.
It feels weird, Spyfall Part 1 being a New Year's special.
Well, it wasn't really special. It was the first episode of the season, so they
still
kind of
meant
got
on
away
New
with it that
Year's,
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed it New Year's Day rather than the kind of regular Sunday slot. So I suppose you could count it as such, but it is, let's be honest, it's the first episode of the season. There's nothing particularly special about it.
Well, New Year's Day, hopefully the ratings aren't too bad, but everyone being at home during COVID, I do think it's gonna see a jump than what it usually would.
That's true, because they're not going to be out partying. Though.
Exactly. Yeah. You'll have the extra 500
that's
for 1 meal,
true.
probably.
Out
of interest,
yeah,
what do you think
sorry.
ratings are going to be the viewership?
I don't like dealing with all that because I've had so many arguments with people because it's not the be all and end all, and it's a flawed system to start with. Like Nielsen ratings, I've never really liked because I think they're stupid. The idea that you put boxes in, 100 homes, and then you just multiply that by whatever people are watching to give you that's there's no scientific precision to it. Yeah, so I just hate that for a start. Plus, in this day and age, the sheer number of people that are either watching on iPlayer or online or Sky Plusing it to watch later, or any number of things. So I don't put that much stock in kind of how many people are sitting down at the time live to watch something. Because to me, that's what. Hello?
How many viewers do you think it's going to get?
See, I don't even know what would be considered good and what would be bad anymore. Like, help me out and give me, because I don't keep up with this, so I don't know what series 12, for example, got.
Resolution got 5.15 million viewers overnight, and it got an average of 7.13. That's consolidated.
Okay. Oh, so that's like finals as opposed to overnights, yeah? Okay.
Yes.
What about, so,
and then Spyfall,
do you happen to have data for Spyfall, yeah?
Spyfall Part 1 got 4.88 viewers overnight, and then it got 6.89 viewers overnight. So it was a sharp decrease, definitely. And I think it would have probably been about low 6 millions without COVID. But I reckon it'll average what Spyfall Part 1 got. I reckon it'll be about 6.5 mil, 6.4, 6.6.
The thing with that was that Spyfall wasn't advertised as kind of having the big shock of the master, so there wasn't anything going into it. We didn't know anything big was happening. Whereas in this one, we do they have the reveal that it's the Daleks and Captain Jack and everything. having said that, there's just too many naysayers and negative Nellies and stuff out there, and I think they are gradually draining the will to watch out of people that even like the era. So
I've
for
said
me,
this time and time. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, go for it.
No, I was just going to say more or less the same. I would say for overnights, I would probably go somewhere between 5.5 and 6.
Oh, that's high. Okay.
Well, I think it'll be slightly higher than Spyfall, but possibly not as high as Resolution. Well, saying that, Resolution didn't reveal the Daleks were in it for a long time.
I believe it
so
was
maybe...
New Year's Eve or like Christmas Eve, and then it was just a week before the episode actually went out. And I still stand by my thoughts that this trailer was released too late. I think it should have been released on New Year's, Children in Need or Doctor Who Day. I think it was a couple weeks too late.
Yeah, that was part of the reason, because I've been saying for ages on Twitter, despite people arguing with me, that it was definitely going to be New Year's Day. And part of the reason for that was that you're not going to release a trailer, it ended up being today, which is November 29th.
Yeah.
So you're well less than a month from air date if it was going to be Christmas Day. So I was like, nah. The fact that they haven't released a trailer yet indicates it's absolutely going to be New Year's.
It's 100% going to be New Year's. I put the poll out about 45 minutes ago, and most people says Christmas Day, I believe, and I think that's just wishful thinking. That's what you want the special to air on, not actually what you think it's going to be. Or maybe people did think it was going to be Christmas Day, but it's just unfortunate. I wish it was on Christmas Day. It's just
I'd hoped, and I was trying not to hope, but yeah.
Now,
so have you?
Fear of losing, I think we should do the breakdown now. What were you going to say?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Have you? Because you said to use your page for the polls and stuff. So did you want to chuck a poll up and just say what did you think of the trailer, hit or miss, just quickly, and then I will gradually. Welcome to everyone who's here. If you are here watching live, we appreciate the heck out of you. But we'd appreciate you all the more if you could like, subscribe, share this on your social medias and around the world. So yeah, that would be very helpful. I'm just trying to do two things at once for whatever reason here, so I'm checking my own social medias, and I'll be honest, there's not, because I was just curious, in terms of what the buzz was in the kind of Doctor Who community. Doesn't seem like there's... Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a lot.
Outside of the official page replies, it looks overly quiet.
Yeah, I've just seen shout out to @MaxC Curtis, who put Revolution of the Daleks New Year's Day logo, and then the scene from The Runaway Bride with the Doctor telling Donna, "Oh no, I forgot you hate Christmas," which got some kind of problem with it.
Yeah. Well, I've put the first poll up. What do you think of the trailer? Smile, flat face, sad face. So go and vote on that. If you're listening along, I'll say out any replies to that in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Without further ado, though, because we do have quite a few things to go through, I think we should go through the trailer scene by scene.
Okay, just quickly before you do that, just 2 seconds to shout out that nothing is trending from Doctor Who on the Twitter trendings except New Year's Day. So just to say, Chibnall, that might be an indication of something. You may have actually just shot yourself in the foot and pissed people off, because they're not talking about anything else about the trailer except when it's going to air.
New Year's Day is trending. I think you mentioned that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. New Year's Day is trending, which I'm guessing is mostly negative reaction, and yet nothing else from the trailer is. Daleks isn't trending. Revolution of the Daleks isn't trending. I think it's a huge mistake, and I think now that I've already given my prediction for viewers, but I can actually see it losing people. Yeah.
I'm looking at the comments now, and they're saying it's a great trailer, but it's just New Year's Day shenanigans. It's just stuff like that. Like, why is it on New Year's Day? But it shouldn't be that shocking, to be honest. Like I said, Chibnall has a track record for this. Anywho, we should do the breakdown for once.
Whoa. I'm just checking the chat here. Benny shouted out and said there's a Cyberman and a Weeping Angel in some cells, presumably in the Doctor's prison. Didn't pick up on that.
We'll go for it. We'll go through it first. Okay.
Right,
cool. Okay. Right, I'm 1 second in, and we've got a shot of the prison the Doctor is in. It looks
Which may or may not be shorter.
yeah, well, yes, and also I saw like a tweet earlier, and it was like an old effect from Doctor Who, and it said the space station looked like a chicken nugget, and I'm looking at it now, and it kind of does look like a grey chicken nugget.
Yeah, I've just started now, so oh, hang on, I
Actually,
can see the
it
scene.
kind of looks like a skull. If okay, guys, if you're listening on, go to 2 seconds into the trailer, and it's like the rocky, shorter like space station. And I'm looking at it now, and it's kind of in the formulation of a skull, which I think is interesting. I can see 2 eyes, the cracked jaw. That's very interesting. Whether they actually intended that, I have no idea.
When you get to it, you may have better eyes than me, but I'm at the scene with all of the cells now, and I believe I can spot what looks like Meglos. There's certainly some.
1 second, what timestamp?
Oh, sorry. So it's 7 seconds.
7 seconds. Yes.
Yeah. There's a green cactus thing. I suppose it could be a big Vin Voce, but I can see what looks like it might be a Sontar.
In front of the Doctor,
Anyway.
it looks like one of the monks from the Monk 3-parter in Series 10.
Oh, see, I thought it looked like a weeping angel, but there's a red light in front of it.
Oh yeah, it does like look like a wing.
Oh no, you know what I have just seen though?
What have you seen?
The cell directly behind the Doctor. That's definitely the Pating.
Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. The thing is back. Oh, I just know
dear.
there's going to be a scene between the two, and she says, "Oh, you again," and I think, "Oh, just shut up. Why is it back? Why is it back?" That's definitely the Cybermen, and then on the far
I
left,
don't recognize a Cyberman. Where are you looking?
far left, about 2/3 down. That is the Cyberman.
Far left. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
That's
Vaguely. See, I can't make hardly anything out. I'm having to look at this on the phone.
just
So.
above that, just above the supposed Cyberman. They're sitting down in a circle, which is giving me the end of time vibes, and the Ood, the special Ood with the brains. It kind of looks like the brains of the Ood. And then on the right, there's some blue lights. Maybe it was the strands from the Ghost Monument, perhaps. Oh no! What I'm thinking of is the woman who fell to Earth, the static ball. It looks like a spherical shape, and it's got blue, and it looks static. But yeah, the thing on the bottom, great. But if can you see anything else?
I'm trying to look now. I still can't even see where you're seeing the Cyberman because my eyesight is atrocious, and I'm having to. Like, to me, that looks like almost either a Sontaran or some kind of robot.
You're saying that's a Sontaran. Ooh, well. Actually, no, looking at it closely, it looks like a guy in a gas mask. But like a very robotic. I think it's a Cyberman or like a. I have no idea.
It could be one of the sniper droids. It doesn't look Cyberman because I can't see any handles, and it doesn't really look like it has a face. But that could just be me. I think that was a good shout what you said about the Ood though, because they're probably all. It makes sense they'd all be sort of sitting in a circle like that.
Yeah. Now if I go through the replies of the tweet so far, your old pal Paul Morris said maybe it's going to be a Doctor Who episode. You do love a bit of Paul, don't you, Mike?
No.
Dog Sonic said it looks honestly like it'll be the best episode of 13's era. Fair enough. It does take a lot of inspiration, this trailer, from, well, not inspiration perhaps, but it's like throwbacks or something that reminds me of stuff. For example, the first shot, that looks like Journey's End, and as does the scene of the Daleks flying through the city. That looks very Journey's End-like. The companions in the TARDIS with all the notes and working out where the Doctor is seems like the parting of the ways, where Rose is trying to find out a way to get to the Doctor using the TARDIS. What else? I did read the other day that this is going to be a direct lead on from Resolution. Well, not a direct, but it's going to be like a backstory for the Dalek we did see in Resolution, and also these new Daleks. So that's something to look out for. But if we're going scene by scene chronologically, if you go back to the three...
I haven't moved. I'm still on 7 seconds. So.
If you go back to 4, you have the Doctor in her cell obviously coming out, looking at something. read
Wait,
out-
wait, wait. Are you confirming the Doctor as being gay coming out?
what
Be
did I say
careful
about
how you word things.
Yes.
All the Thasman shippers are going to be straight just attacking us now.
Oh yes. I thought I slipped up. I was like, no, what did I say? No. She's coming out of her cell. Not she's
Just making a
she's
bad
come
joke.
out- yes. But yeah, she's got numbers on the side of her.
Yeah, I didn't recognize them as numbers. I feel like an idiot.
0927
Yeah.
1111, which is probably just numerical for 4, and then
What do
there's
they-
some really odd numbers and symbols. Mike, you were breaking up there. Oh no, you're back. Cool.
I'm back. Yeah, you broke up too. Yeah, it still reminds me a little bit of the two sort of black sashes that the Cthulhu wear if you're keeping up with the Time Lord Victoria stuff. But I do think that's a coincidence. I don't think it's going to feed in anywhere.
Okay.
So
It's probably just her marking all the days she's been in there, perhaps. Maybe there's like a clever twist in the actual episode, but I think that's all it's going to be.
maybe.
Now, if we go on, we've got the prison scenes, which we've already looked at. Ooh, but I'm clicking play now, and I'm looking at some movement. Now, I've spotted 2 more things.
Okay, go ahead.
In front, well, you have the Doctor, then you have the Weeping Angel thing, or the monk, and then in front, and then ahead
That's
of
a
that
weeping
one,
angel, dude.
Okay, then behind the Weeping Angel, I see the werewolf from Tooth and Claw.
Oh, I don't see that, but okay.
If you go to 6 seconds, it's clear as day, and it either looks like the werewolf or Lazarus from the Lazarus experiment.
Oh, I hope it's not him.
And then next to it, to the right, to the left of the werewolf, I see the creature from Love and Monsters.
The Absolbolov?
No, the other one.
Oh, the Hoiks, you mean?
Hoiks.
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah, the
Hoiks
Hoiks.
and the werewolf. And then I see the Ood to the left, I see the Cyberman, I see the Weeping Angel / monk, and then I also see the Pating. And then in the bottom left-hand corner is a very weird shot. It's a very weird thing.
Yeah, it looks a little bit to me like one of the. To me, it looks like one of the pig slaves from Evolution of the Daleks, but in like the same jumpsuit as the Doctor.
Yeah. Well, they've certainly added a ton of Easter eggs there.
And you can't spot the big green cactus-looking thing though, right?
Where to?
It's the biggest thing in here, like
So I
top
thought that was just
right.
like a tree, like a bush.
No, well, I'm assuming it's either Meglos or it could be like a huge giant member of the Vinvoci, but that's about all I can really.
I don't know why there would be a massive bush hanging out of a prison, but there we go.
Yeah.
In the chat we have Xander saying I see that too. Xander, which one can you see? Can you guys see the ones I'm on about, or which particular ones can you notice? He says bottom right.
I still think it's a
Oh,
weeping
God.
angel though.
It looks like a weeping angel from the wing. It looks like a wing, and also the dress. But then
I can
it's
see the kind of
also-
skirt part of the stone. Yeah.
Actually, no, I can see that now. I think it is the weeping angel. I think the red thing that I thought was the monk's veil thing.
Just a light.
It's just a light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing. But it's weeping angels. Why not? You just know we're going to get about a minute of that. I really hope they explore that more. I really hope so.
I doubt it. That's going to be a sort of blink and you'll miss an Easter egg, I think.
I would love that if she had to escape from that somehow. That'd be so cool. Well, if they're trying to find the Doctor throughout the episode, and you've got these scenes of Earth being invaded, maybe the Doctor isn't there, like Journey's End again, or like the Stolen Earth, and you have the companions in
I think so.
scheming. So maybe if that's dragged out throughout the episode, Paul may be right. Maybe like not like a Doctor Light episode, but the Doctor not being with the companions throughout the episode.
Well, I called that weeks ago because there's too many characters otherwise, and I think that's exactly why you've chucked in Captain Jack to fulfill the kind of the Doctor role, because the companions aren't that knowledgeable about the sci-fi-ish type aspects of stuff, and of course Jack's got experience with Daleks, so I think he's kind of going to be the surrogate Doctor for the three companions, while the Doctor's got her own storyline breaking out of whatever this prison is. And obviously they will meet up at the end, because you've seen the clips of Jack hearing the TARDIS and seeing Doctor and stuff. So But I would say maybe in that regard it might be similar to the Christmas Invasion, where you get fleeting glimpses of Tennant and then he kind of turns up and steals the whole last 10-15 minutes, you know.
But it looks very much like the Pawn of the Ways. I just get those vibes because basically, like I was going to say, the Doctor, if this is dragged out through the episode, the B plot or the A plot, whatever it's going to be, I think it's going to be the B plot, or it may be just interchanging A plots. But I think it's going to be the Doctor having to get back to her TARDIS, and maybe this is like a maze, a prison that she has to get through just to get to her TARDIS, and I think that there's a lot of potential there. But again, we're going from a 2-second clip, and yeah, there's a ton of potential, and it's just interesting to see how she got from the very next shot, her alone in her cell, which she was teleported
I'm on
to
that
at
now,
the end
yeah.
of Revolution, with all the lines, what do you call it?
Prison bars, but
The prison
futuristic in it.
bars, exactly. It's interesting to know how she went from there to the prison cell with all of them. Maybe she's kind of knocked out and then she's put into the prison cell and then she wakes up and then she has all these horrors around her.
Yeah, who knows?
There's a lot of potential there.
I tell you what, this is apropos of nothing, but what that whole thing reminded me of more than anything was the Crystal Maze. The idea of them having to kind of go through all of these sort of, there's the particular game where you had to go through the cells in the exact right order to get out. So that's all I can think of now, especially now that you've said, like, oh, maybe that's her mission is just to get through there to get to the TARDIS. I'm just picturing the TARDIS as being like the equivalent of getting to the end door with your crystal, knocking on the door kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh,
I
love the Crystal Maze. Great show.
Yeah, it's a good show. What?
Yeah. So if we advance through the seconds, I'm now at
Mhm.
the 11-second mark, and I'm just going to play this because can't quite remember what he says here. I'm just going to play it.
She leaves you. He leaves you.
Okay.
Either you leave her or she leaves you.
Okay, so it was like over voice, and he says, "You either leave the Doctor or she leaves you," and that's what
Yeah,
it says
very
there.
very much hallmark in the loss of the at least two of the companions. I think if we didn't already know that, then I think the constant kind of like, yeah, you don't get to pick. I will say as well, it's so weird to hear Jack just switching pronouns without ever having met the Doctor, but switching to using she and her so quickly.
Yeah, that's nice. But interestingly, we spoke about it privately. There's no callbacks to Children of Earth events in here. I know it's not the first
I don't think you'll
episode,
get it.
but I don't think we're gonna get anything like that.
No, I don't think you'll get any references to Torchwood, or I think as far as the current team are concerned and going forward, I think the spin-offs may as well have not happened, because I don't think you'll get anything referenced from any of them now.
Yeah, it's a great shame because I still think Sarah Jane deserves a proper send-off in the show, but she did get a title card at the end of, at the start of The Impossible Astronaut, which was nice. But yeah, I still think there should be a proper send-off of sorts.
It's weird to think how you can do it in Doctor Who, because weirdly enough, Star Trek in this particular season has done it a lot of times. Twice now they've named ships after a character who was played by an actor who passed away, and then another actor who passed away. So it's easy to do. You can just name starships, but I suppose you could probably do that, but then people would wonder why you had a starship called Sladen, maybe, or something. But yeah, I kind of liked what they did for the Brigadier with just the kind of respectful phone call. And that was all that happened. He certainly would never have been resurrected as a Cyberman or anything stupid like that. So, that was definitely the end of his story.
I'm going to put out another screenshot and then I'll ask what people can see in the prison stuff. And the prison shot. So, the very next shot.
It's the TARDIS, isn't it?
Was the TARDIS with all the notes on the walls.
Yeah, they've got the kind of just reminiscent of the meme from It's Always Sunny of the guy with the kind of.
It is. Oh, I just clocked it. That is the fugitive Doctor's TARDIS.
It's the one that they stole at the end of the Timeless Children.
Is it?
So they already had it. Yeah.
You can tell I don't pay attention. So is Ruth Doctor there at that point?
No.
Where did she go? It's her
She
TARDIS.
was never there.
What do you mean?
It's not her TARDIS, it's just an early TARDIS that they stole. Seriously, we just watched The Timeless Children to review it like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Remember how it was never her TARDIS, it's just...
They stole it, okay, yeah. Oh, damn.
Don't make me smack you, boy.
Oh, dear. I did give it a 5 out of 10 for a reason. I don't like that episode. It just, yeah. But of course,
Yes.
what
I like it.
I can tell the hurt in your comment yesterday. How you didn't like what's his name, Jack's opinions about the series.
I never said that. Well, I did, but not in the way you make it sound. I said that I really loved his impressions, but I wasn't as fond of some of his opinions, which I think is fair. You know? But
yeah. So
you know,
talking about the previous episodes, I do have a couple of results
Yuck.
to share with you.
Okay.
Of results. Do you know what these poll results are?
I don't even know what the polls that you're referring to are.
Which story do you prefer? Hashtag.
Oh, I'm sure.
40
Yeah.
votes.
Okay.
I just have to rub it in because you did have a part of me for rating it so low. So I've got to rub it in. I've got to get my own back. Which story do you prefer? For Tonight We Might Die, 27.5%. Death of the Doctor, 72.5%. Thank you.
Yeah.
very
Now
much.
tell me exactly how many of those people have even seen For Tonight We Might Die, because I bet it's probably about the 27.5% that voted for it.
Oh, well. Great. Okay. So in the recent polls I put out a poll yesterday and I said, which is the favourite episode that we have reviewed so far? In terms of percentage, Human Nature, Family of Blood came out on top.
That's not
Then
surprising, is it?
No, then it's The God Complex. Then it's
Okay.
The Curse of Fatal Death. Then it's
Okay.
Ascension. Then it's
Cool.
Death of the Doctor. Then it's The Five Doctors. Then, controversially, it's Dimensions in Time. Then it's an Unearthly Child.
Oh.
Now, I was surprised when I saw these results. I think 3 people vote for Dimensions in Time over Human Nature, The Five Doctors, and Death of the Doctor. I think, surely they must be just joking. But
I'm shocked by a lot of things. I'm shocked that Ascension of the Cybermen and the Timeless Children is like 2 or 3 places above the Five Doctors. That's shocking to me, and I like that episode.
Yeah.
I like both of them, but yeah.
Well, I also got the results of the recent poll I put out today. What do you think of the trailer? 80% had a smiley face,
Okay.
12.7% had a straight face, and 7.3% had a sad face. So
Okay.
quite a portion of that, 20% people were not happy. So one in five.
Yeah, just saying.
And also, of the discussion post I put out 2 minutes ago, I said, what can you see? Matt Whelan said behind her a Pating, in front of her a Weeping Angel.
Yeah, I noticed those.
To her far left, looks like Tim Shaw. How we saw him
didn't
in The Woman.
Oh, could have been a
crappy,
stanza
yeah.
that we was.
It's the Stenza. I
Yeah.
thought it was like a Cyberman with a gas mask, but no, it's...
And I was thinking Sontaran or robot of some kind, but
I
yeah,
don't know
it's
what
the
you were
stanza
thinking
with
when you said some turns, but yeah.
because it's like come on, the armor that if I'm talking like
It looks like... No.
never mind.
I will show you...
I'm thinking classic armor Sontaran, not like blue, obviously, not the blue boys.
And then Joe Hall said Cybermen far left, but we've just come to the conclusion that is...
I think it's if not Zimshaw, it's just another member of the stanza probably.
And then Wes said, I want to know what the big greeny thing is. And then who
I know, right?
said Meglos.
Surely, well, then I was going to. Meglos is a bit of a deep cut considering everything else in there is from the last sort of 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then they've suddenly got one random sort of classic Who monster. It seems odd. But I can't remember anything like that being faced in the last few series.
No.
So who knows?
Maybe that's what's going to come back. Chibnall was teasing some returns, so it'd be very interesting to see what he's got up his sleeve.
Yeah, he's going to bring back Meglos.
Yes, Meglos. Iconic villain that deserves a revamp or like a return. Meglos. Yeah. Who would have
Yeah, let's not get into any spoilers just yet. We'll face those later just to shush you for a second.
Sometimes are back.
But
Okay.
not yet.
Next shot we have.
You've broken your
them
fucking
talking.
microphone now.
You can hear me, right?
I can hear you, but you've just gone really low now.
Oh wow. Oh jeez. doesn't.
That's better.
Okay.
That's fine. You're back.
But how's that possible?
Okay, so in the next
Go ahead.
shot, yeah, I'm good. You? I can.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just going on from the not fugitive
possible?
doctor. The doc would really want us to keep an eye on the planet. I've actually just put on closed captions, by the way, so I can see the dialogue, because otherwise I'll miss
Oh
it.
dear.
Wow.
So now you.
I just screenshotted it at 15 seconds, and can I just say, at 15 seconds, even as a still, you can tell that Tosin Cole can't act. He's boring me looking at him just stood there. Yes. Oh, there's my girl Yaz, though.
I swear you love the series, so you've got to love Ryan, man. Gotta love Ryan. I don't think.
I like bits and pieces.
Well.
How's
if we go
that
on
possible?
from That, let's talk about the Daleks. What do you think of the redesign?
I'm just going through this in chronological order. If you don't help the human race is going down, you're with us as of now. You will see new defense drones.
10 Downing Street and the defense drones. Very similar to Victory of the Daleks. You have 10 Downing Street, you've got the Daleks and secret weapons.
Which, to be fair, in itself was a copy of Power of the Daleks, so not the most original idea to start with.
No.
Yeah, the first thing I'll say about this is that those two Daleks there, still a better Prime Minister than the one we currently have. But, you know, let's not get political, just in case.
On side A, Mike. Oh dear. Well, I must say, if that's a green screen, it looks awful, and if it's a set design, it still looks awful. It doesn't. It looks.
I don't think it looks bad at all. I don't know what you're looking at.
It looks very weird to me. It doesn't look like the real thing, that's for sure.
Well, obviously they're not going to film it directly outside 10 Downing Street.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
As of now, you will see new defense drones at work.
Lovely. So maybe they're taking. Maybe it's like the monks. They read themselves into the population and then they attack. They buy the trust of the humans and then they just attack the humans because they're.
Oh, I've just noticed something very interesting because I paused straight away, so 24 seconds. That guest actor I was telling you about, the black fella, I think is in this shot, possibly with Chris North, the Trump character.
Right.
But they've got what looks like the Dalek mutant in like a glass box.
Yeah.
Inside of that room.
Yeah. And then he says they're going to change the world. So Christopher North's character is going to be like the Trump. Well, he's the Trump, the Winston Churchill of this episode. And having such a character in such a role is weird because he hasn't had a good reception from what I've seen anyway. Michael, you there? Well, I think I've lost my co-host. Oh dear. Michael. Yep, it seems I have in fact lost him, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to give him a kick. Yep, he's gone. Now, if we're talking about Christopher North, he's there, and we've got the black guy that Mike was talking about, and we've got the female actress. Hello. Okay, I now know who you're on about. Were you on about the actor?
The black dude with the glasses, yeah?
Yeah, I'm on that.
I'm pretty sure he was in an old comedy that I used to enjoy on BBC Three called How Not to Live Your Life.
Right. You'll have to have a check-up on that in a bit.
The scene at 28 seconds, it looks like they're specifically opening a Dalek casing, maybe to get to the mutant. Now I'm starting to think, with them saying specifically defense drones, I'm wondering now if they might have captured some Daleks, torn the mutants out of the casing. They're using the casing as like an automaton without the mutant inside.
I'm seeing it a different way. I'm seeing it as this guy has the Daleks at his disposal, and then these two characters are kind of detectives that have intruded his space, and then that his character hasn't seen the inside. That's why he looks so skeptical, because the two of them, the woman especially, she looks very disapproval. So maybe she is like an inspector that has forced her way through to get there. And then you've got this bloke that is really interested. He looks like he's observing it, so it looks like he's a scientist. And then
I think
his character looks confused. So I think he has been forced in that situation. Go for it.
I would think the older lady is either the sort of Doctor Who universe's prime minister or some kind of politician. Because why would she be standing in front of 10 Downing Street? It seems an odd
I'm
choice.
looking at the other scene now of the Prime Minister, and they do look kind of the same age, but I don't.
They're the same actress, dude.
Is it? Okay, I wasn't sure. I was gonna say, I'm not sure if it was the same person.
She is a famous actress. I can't remember off the top of my head her name, but they announced a couple of days ago she was going to be in
She's
it.
got like an
So it's
MBA
going to be a big role.
So yeah, she's pretty popular. I think she's got an MBA. I think I saw that.
Whoa,
next
so
scene-
according to the closed captioning, which I think is wrong, Captain Jack says, "Remember Rose, I'm Captain Jack Harkness."
Yeah,
Why would he say "Remember Rose"? That doesn't make sense.
No, I don't think that's what it said.
And I'm
so
immortal.
We're not even halfway through this, so let's carry
You
on.
insecure, you seem to need a lot of praise.
Got Captain Jack. Now we're on to the scene with the spaceship. Now this looks like a very pretty scene.
Okay,
This is the best moment. We don't wanna
yeah,
stay
first
here
of all,
all
I
day.
want to...
We don't want to stay here all day. Let's just. What's up? What's up?
Yeah. Well, I want to point out that the Daleks in this scene seem to feed into my theory because the lights all of a sudden are red when previously they were blue. So now I'm thinking I might have... slightly, I think, maybe. I'm on number 38 seconds.
I was on 32.
Oh, that was only Jack and then the spaceship very briefly, which is a Dalek ship. So
Those are I was just going to mention. Then you have Jack.
yeah, it's good.
Having a bit of comedy, and then you have the humans running, and you've got the red and white laser shots. And
I stopped at 38 seconds, so if you
Yeah,
can
I'm
find
back.
that. So yeah, as I said, I think it feeds into my theory that they're ripping out the Dalek mutants, and then the kind of inert just machines have the blue lights, which we saw at the Downing Street scene. And then I would assume these ones are kind of fully operational, mutant controlled, which is why the lights are all of a sudden red. Because there's no other reason I can think of why there would be two different colours.
Yeah, maybe it's just because it's night, so they've got to be intimidating. Because of course you've got the exterminator blaster, which is red and white. And
I still don't think they would change it unless there was a reason. I think I'm onto something here.
Fair, yeah.
Or my other initial theory was that it was some kind of like 1980s type Dalek civil war, in which case that could be literally that these are the two factions, the kind of blue lights and the red lights, you know?
Right, and I just want to add, if you've got the post on the right moment of the actual laser being exterminated, I'm not impressed with the special effects.
I'm not just saying this to be...
Yeah, sorry, go for it.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's to be different, but I love, the effects of them flying. I really love the light, the extra light. I think the new design, which let's be honest, I was pretty critical of, works much better in motion and in darkness with the light kind of streaming from it.
No, that's what I'm saying. The flying bit's good. So
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
But the actual laser,
I've stopped it.
it looks
That's terrible.
Very 50s, 60s, no, not 50s. Obviously, Doctor Who wasn't around, but it looks very. Not to boost my own ego because the podcast editing hasn't been great. It's just I can probably do that same effect. I've done that on like Fiverr commission jobs. I've done like the laser, the static electricity. I could do that. The exterminator blast does not look great at all. What's that? Oh, Craig's gone. Oh dear.
Yeah, no, ignore it.
Okay, but the actual Dalek, very pretty. I even thought that would be revealed because I did see your tweets and you were saying, "Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this." And then someone said something, and then you said, "Yeah, so what?" And I thought, "Oh, go off, Mike." But then
What? I don't remember. What did I say? You'll have to give me some context.
somebody said,
Now recording.
"We don't care, Craig. Go away." And someone said, "If you like these Daleks, you must like these Daleks," and you said, "So what?" or something.
Oh no! I tell you what, I objected to what was it they were saying? They don't understand how people don't like these or like these Daleks, but don't like the Paradigm Daleks, and I don't see the connection there at all. Do you know what I mean? They're two completely different things.
Right, I've been told I'm a bit too quiet recently, so I think you were right that I did drop out a bit low, so I've increased the volume a bit. So if I'm now coming out really bombastic, Xander, that's your fault. I'm sorry.
Yes, Xander.
Yes, Xander, all your fault. And then in the next shot, you have the Daleks back shot, and they're destroying the street. And you've got the humans running away.
Prepare for maximum extermination.
Standard shot there. Not sure about the explosions, but yeah, definitely better than the
These
exterior.
Daleks do look good in the darkness, though, with the red light and the
The
sort of
Daleks,
base and everything as well.
Like I said, the Daleks from the reveal, I really liked them. I saw them on the suspension bridge in Bristol. Like, I didn't see them personally, but I saw the pictures because I live nearby, and the pictures are. They were very promising. They look like Dalek sec from the Doomsday, in my opinion. Not so much watching them in action because they do look different. They do look a lot more light heavy, but as for the actual black design, the shape of it, does kind of look like the Colt Scarrow from Doomsday. But of course the lights and stuff where we can see
Yeah, well, I have jumped slightly ahead. I'm on 43 seconds now. If you can grab a quick shot of it there.
Yes.
It looks like, again, slight potential spoiler, which is a weird thing to put. It looks like Dalek Mutant has just taken over that black guy that we were talking about.
Ooh, is that the same guy? Or
it looks like the same guy.
If you go back to that very shot, the black guy. This sounds so derogatory. We're not being racist. We're just saying we don't.
We're not using terms other than the black actor.
Yeah, the black actor. If you go back to his bit, it doesn't look like he's got that long hair. But if you then go back to that 43
it's
seconds.
not long hair.
What?
I don't see long hair.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have long hair. It's short. But then if you go back to 43 seconds, it looks like this guy has a good set of hair on him.
I don't see that. That's what I'm saying. I think I can see the Dalek. There's definitely a Dalek mutant splitting about. Hang on, what the heck is? Oh, okay. Ooh, this is interesting.
Of course, you have the Dalek creeping out on him, and you also have that later on in the episode where it kind of jumps onto Yaz.
Yeah.
So I did see a couple of rumors going around this morning because the trailer came out and it was the exact same thing, like the
Christmas at on BBC trailer.
Exactly. And it was jumping on Yaz's back, and people were saying like, I bet. Oh, what was I going to say now? I just looked at the chat. Basically, what they were
something
saying,
about that Yaz was going to get possessed and kill Graham or Ryan or something.
Yeah, it's going to be like a possession. So maybe they're abducting all the characters that are going to be in the special. So now they've got Yaz supposedly, or maybe it just kills her, or maybe it jumps from this guy into out of the human
Possible.
casing, and then it jumps onto Yaz, which could be a good move. But then if you
it could control her for a little while. I mean, look at what it did in Resolution with Lynn. It didn't sort of control her the entire
and
time.
It can just get out of the body so easily because it was roaming in the water for a while. And then
I'll tell you what is interesting. I moved very, very, very slightly ahead and paused on exactly 44 seconds.
I was just going to say 44 seconds.
It looks like Dalek mutant kind of birthing vats or something. Like they're glowing green and there's definitely looks like Dalek mutants in some kind of fluid.
It looks like Dalek mutants being stored or stored for an attack.
Or just birthed, just being born, you know?
Yeah, because they do look a bit small.
I'm getting Genesis of the Dalek vibes, personally.
Yeah, and the Ark in Space. That's what that's reminding me of.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I think you're probably right. They do look a bit smaller than the one that does jump on to the guy and also Yaz. So, yeah, maybe you're right. But, very cool scene. And if we're going back slightly, 1 second, to the creature grabbing onto the bloke again, it looks like it's emerging from a box, but behind the box it looks like there's a fire. And I think that I do media studies. I think it's called the mise en scène, the actual imagery of the picture of the shot. I think the way they filmed that is stunning. I think they'll be color graded better in the actual episode. I think this is color graded down to make it less visible maybe. But I think that's a beautiful shot of the Cybermen, of the fire sparkling in the background as it's abducting or possessing or killing this bloke. I think that's a really nice creative decision there.
Maybe they were trying to kill the Dalek mutant by throwing it into the fire, and it kind of like jumps back and possesses in that regard, you know. Because there's a lot of imagery. There's a few times I noticed where there's kind of a fire in the background or close, and it's almost always where there's a Dalek mutant nearby. So maybe.
Yeah. It's very interesting creative decisions, and even though the trailer isn't exciting me, which I wish it did, there's so many little things that I can appreciate, and like at the start of the prison scene, all the Easter eggs, and then you've got the Daleks flying. I love the redesign, and then you've got the spaceship. The CGI looks great. It looks a large improvement. Then you do have the negatives like the Exterminator Blaster, which looks dreadful. I could do that. Anyone could do that. If you have Premiere Pro, give it a go. All you have to do is add like a laser and then recolor it, and then add another 2 lasers either side. Recolor it to white, and then you have an Exterminator Blaster. Then you just use masking.
Yeah.
And then go across and then use what do you call it, like pings, or I just forgot the term, but you just go across and then you keep moving it, and then you have the blaster, and it's just a bit.
We don't need to get into specifics. We're going to bore people to death. But yeah. It looks to me a little bit like do you know when you have the old DVDs with the like 50s and 60s stuff, and it's like we have improved CGI effects, and it tends to look like that. It's obviously just a very basic, like we'll just overmap the lack of anything with a really basic like laser effect.
Yeah. You have Series 1, which started. You thought that was going to be so promising. I mean, it was. Series 1 was great, but as in the effects in episode 1 of Mickey being thrown into the bin, and while I don't think that scene, I don't look at it like that's poor CGI. I just think it's like a comedic moment. I'll allow it. I just think it's harmless. It's a harmless scene, but some people say, "Oh, poor CGI is crap." And I just think no, it's a funny scene, and
just to clarify as well, if that actor is the guy who I think it was, the actor in question, I've just looked him up. He's called Daniel Lawrence Taylor. I'm not saying it is him, but if it is, then that's his name. So yeah, and it does look very like him. If you go to his kind of IMDb page, but then again, he's a black guy with relatively short hair and glasses, so it's probably
Okay.
Oh, and I thought I recognised him from other places. He was in Uncle as well, another BBC Three comedy.
Right.
So hey, maybe it's him.
Yeah. Okay, so in the next shot we have Graham going for a fist bump with Ryan, and he looks very uninterested. Fist bump.
He always does, though.
Lefts.
That could be that Tossin Cole was told to exhibit joy, and he would still look like that.
They fist bump and then they explode, and that's how they go. That's how they die off.
Yeah.
And then in the next scene, we have,
You jerk.
it's true. They have to go somehow. How do you think they're gonna go? Do you think they're gonna die, or do you think they're just gonna leave?
I think the fact that they've already kind of shown us the scene of Jack saying, you don't get to decide when to stop traveling with the Doctor, etc. I think that's going to bear on their mind, and they're literally they're gonna pull a Martha and be like, look, we're making our decision now. It's been great, but now we're gonna try and sort of start our lives again together with as granddad and grandson.
I think it is very interesting they incorporate that into the trailer.
Yep.
It's like foreshadowing, like the God Complex. They foreshadowed the death of the Doctor standing over their graves, and even if that was just like a throwaway line, even if the parallel wasn't intended, I think Moffat intended that moment to be on that dialogue, even if that dialogue in the God Complex wasn't intended for their actual exit. But the fact that they know that they've obviously not leaked it, or maybe they did, but someone's leaked it, and now they know. And the fact they've incorporated that into the trailer, even though the trailer may have been created a couple of weeks ago, is very interesting. And I do think it does forebodes, whatever the hell you say it. I think it is foreshadowing their exits. And maybe that, the fist bump scene, jokes aside, I think that's just like a last bit of respect for each other. And I do hope that's a nice moment. Like, and it takes.
I can see it going two ways. It's either going to be the equivalent of the scene of in It Takes You Away, which is like, oh, he finally calls me Grant. It's going to be a moment like that, emotional, or it's going to be a moment that seems like that, and then it immediately twists and somebody gets killed out of nowhere. Because that's that's like quite a cliche kind of idea as well. Like, oh, it looks like a sweet moment, and then out of nowhere, a Dalek mutant jumps and kills one of the two of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, can you imagine it just pops out that cold behind Ryan and boom, and and the Dalek mutant fist bump scream like, ha.
No, I want to see that. Just a Dalek like, give me 5.
Where's your soundboard when you need it?
It's not one of those episodes. Leave me alone. Oh, bless.
Well, if we're moving on, last couple of
Yep.
seconds, last 5 seconds, 6 seconds.
Dalek jumping on Yaz. We've seen that. We've talked about
Before
that. That's
you
fine.
have the Sonic Blaster. It's back. It was in the Christmas items, but I just want to.
Yeah, we saw that too. Yeah.
I watched Series 1 recently, and I was going to mention at the start if we had started before the trailer actually went out. I'm interested to know what's your latest. Tell the people what's your latest viewing habits of Doctor Who. What kind of episodes have you been watching? What
Me.
preference?
Well,
I'll go on
you
to
know
that,
from
but
some of
you tell the audience.
you know from our private conversations what it is that I do. It's at the moment my plan is basically to start at the very beginning, meaning 63 William Hartnell, and work my way through every episode that I haven't seen and everything that I haven't watched on kind of DVDs and Blu-rays that I've bought and just kind of filed away. So at the moment I did start that a couple of months ago. So I've now seen, for the first time of the classics, I've seen every William Hartnell story. That includes telesnaps where they were available on Daily Motion, which they always were. Silly thing to say. So telesnaps where there's no story. That includes any kind of story with an animated episode like 10th Planet, which I've already seen, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, because I have like BritBox, which has every classic episode on it, plus I keep buying... plus I keep buying, like I said, Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff. So I'm working my way through. I've got a big list in my phone, but at the moment, in that kind of viewing habit, I've reached the Macro Terror, which I've just watched the animation of that. Loved it. Thought it was brill. So next up is the animation of the faceless ones, which I'll do next week because I'm trying at least one a week.
That's a good one.
But
Yeah.
other than that, I'm just watching whatever you guys pick for us to watch for the podcast, or I did earlier in the year watch the things that Emily Cook was doing the tweet-alongs for, but I haven't this time because it was the same time as Strictly Come Dancing was on, and I'm watching stuff for the podcast and stuff anyway. Plus, last time, I'll be honest, I just didn't find it enjoyable because trying to kind of keep tweeting and stuff while also half watching an episode, it just meant I wasn't enjoying the episode, and by the end of it, I had a blinding headache. So
Get those tweet-alongs. I do like the
Yeah.
concepts. I'm really happy for the people that enjoy it, but I just can't watch an episode while tweet. And that's the frustrating thing when I ask for someone's opinion on Twitter, and they say they don't like an episode, and then they also say, I had my phone down I had my phone on for the last 15 minutes, and I was like,
oh no, I couldn't do that.
how could you give your opinion and say an episode was bad when you didn't even watch it all the way through without having your phone on? And I think, of course, you're not gonna like an episode because you have episodes in any series where, like I said this in a previous episode, the last couple moments can define and make an episode great. And if you miss those moments because you're on your phone just blindly scrolling through Twitter, what's the point in watching the episode?
It kills the immersion as well. It's another pet peeve of mine when it comes to people going to, not that we have been able to this year, but going to cinema and stuff. And then you see the youngsters kind of playing on their phone or checking it every 2 minutes, and it's like, the idea is, it kills the immersion in that whatever kind of you're being presented with. The idea is that you're living that for that however long it is, it's escapism and whatever else, but you can't really focus and you're not dialed in if you're doing stuff on your phone and stuff when you're supposed to be watching something. So I never do anything else, especially when it comes to like the big two for me, Star Trek and Doctor Who. Everything gets turned off and I have to watch at least once completely through without any interruptions before I even do anything. And then even when I'm watching them back, I do the same. Like even when I've been making notes for this podcast, when I watch the episodes, I have to make a point of pausing, typing up the note, and then going back to the episode.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would just miss too much.
Well, I think I've explained this before, but what I do is I just try and watch the episode all in one, try and enjoy it as much as possible, and then I go to my computer, and then I go on to BBC iPlayer or BritBox, or not BritBox, but like Daily Motion or any kind of website that has this particular episode on. And I go through it, and I try to remember the moments where I thought was notable. For example, a bit of dialogue for a certain joke. And I don't like to pause either. Even when I'm bored, I just look at the clock and I think, hurry up. But yeah,
I wouldn't do that if I hadn't seen these before, but I think it helps me to not, because I being like this sounds really snotty, but being like somebody that has a film studies degree and studying like shot composition and visuals and stuff,
How
I would.
dare you speak of your accomplishments?
I hate doing that, man. It sounds like you're bragging, and I'm really not.
No,
but
I was being sarcastic. Go for it.
yeah, but no, like so that there's things that I notice which I would never ordinarily have seen if I was busy tweeting or whatever, and it's like a particular visual choice by the director or something that I noticed, or something that I can try to make sense of, even if it's just my interpretation.
Yeah.
I can't really think of an example without spoiling a future thing, but let's say there's a couple of moments in a future episode that we'll review where I noticed visual choices that kept on happening, and then something clicked in my head and I was like, oh, I get what is being said by this. Could be completely wrong, but at least it's my way of like noticing something other than just, oh, this is the Doctor being funny, this scene, this is a spaceship, this is something else. So I want to like really soak it in.
Exactly, yeah. And even in like the latest series, I'll say it again, I wasn't immersed. The 50-minute runtime, it felt like an hour, and if you're not invested in an episode, I can see why people like from any era just pick up their phone. I can see why, because they do get bored, but like the immersiveness is so key. So even if I'm not enjoying an episode, I will still stick through and watch it, even if it does take a while. Same with some movies. I think, this is a bit. I just want this to end, but then I don't pause. I don't get up and leave. I don't do anything. I just stick around, And
Yeah.
I just saw a tweet, and I will tag you in it. And
Okay.
it was very funny. It's like a Photoshop of the 10 Downing Street.
Oh yeah.
It's a Boris Johnson.
Oh, is this gonna get political again?
Yes. And someone said, "It's good to see
Look,
Matt Hancock
Boris is doing as fine of a job as he can be, man.
and Priti Patel showing their true selves in tonight's press conference, and it's the two Daleks." I thought that was a nice.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. I'm aware of some problems with the audio. I've increased my volume right to the top now, so.
Is it me? It could be me, but
No. I was a bit quiet since I dropped out. I was a bit too quiet, so I've increased my volume and to a pretty much level. Hopefully, watch me go back through this. Let's go back through it, and then you're just 10 times louder than me. It doesn't matter. It's a bit of fun.
it could be that I'm breaking up because I'm on the computer, and every time I've been on the computer on a podcast with Andrew, he says that he can't hear me, but you always seem to hear me fine. So I was like, well, I'm trying it anyway. Yeah. So plus I have to have my phone handy to watch the actual Dawn trailer. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So I'm gonna retweet the tweet saying come to the stream. Hopefully we can pick up some more people. We're coming
have we lost all our viewers?
We've went from 6 concurrent to 3 or 4 concurrent, so I'd like to pick that up. So if you could drop a retweet on that, that'd be much appreciated.
I will do the same. Okay, where do I find
now?
Okay.
If we're going on to the breakdown, the final bit of the breakdown, we're into the final scene now, and it's the Doctor saying, "Stay strong," while also putting the final or the latest note or cross or what I'm thinking of notes and crosses now. The final line. They've all got shapes, mate. They've all got shapes. I get confused. It's Roman numerals. It's got Roman numerals, and then she just says stay strong. So I think, is she looking at a screen or is she just thinking it subconsciously? And I think it's subconscious. Stay strong. It's just thinking she senses danger, and then she says. It's
to herself, isn't it? It's just gearing herself up, oh, be strong. We'll get through this Crystal Maze challenge.
Yeah, maybe it's her speaking to herself, but I say it's like a stay strong for the companions. Subconsciously, she just knows there's danger. Says, please stay strong.
Yeah.
And then it says, BBC Doctor Who Revolution of the Daleks New Year's Day.
Boo.
Come on, Mike. We have to support the BBC. New Year's Day. Yay!
Oh, hang on.
Woo! Nah,
Xander just joined the Facebook group. I didn't even know he was on Facebook. Yay!
Hey, hello,
welcome, Xander.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Facebook club. And I've just noticed that the podcast channel is going to surpass the Who Game Shows channel soon. So I'm very happy with that. Actually.
Woo!
I'm very proud of the episodes we've put out. And hopefully it does just as well next year. And I think I think we should just announce it here, to be honest. We've only got 2 more episodes recording. Do you want to announce what we're going to be doing, or what you are going to be doing next season?
If I knew for sure, then I would be happy to. But to be honest, at this point in time, yeah, nothing's set in stone, shall we say?
We could have gave some promo to the series, man.
Well,
guys.
Okay, let me go ahead and say, all things being considered, technology working out and alternatives being as they are, the plan is 90%, unless something drastic happens, that we do want to go ahead with a series 2 of the podcast. It will unfortunately mean that we lose Will for that series. Because he, despite him starting this, and he's always going to be the kind of exec producer, the creative force. But he's already explained he's kind of got a lot of college work and things like that coming up, and we completely understand that.
Now. I'm in the neck of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, so I really wanted to carry on though, because I honestly have been really enjoying it. Even if nobody listens, it's fun just chatting to 1 or 2 people about Doctor Who and having an excuse to watch it back and put my critical eye on it. So. It means that I will be taking over as full-time kind of host, is the plan. And I will be joined, replacing me as co-host, by the now legendary, I'm sure, Andrew Kemp, who has agreed to come on board with us as a full-time co-host. And we will, as we were this season that you're presumably enjoying, we will have a guest on every episode as well. And like this season, it's going to be either 11 or 12 episodes. One of the two. We do have a provisional list of stories that we think we're going to do, and we already have a list of about 6 people that we would like to approach, a couple of which we already have. So the plan is to definitely go forward with that. We're obviously massively open to discussion if anybody wants to request to be on, if anybody wants us to change anything, to improve anything. We're open to all. We're not going to say we're going to do it, but we'll listen to everything, every bit of criticism, every bit of praise, and we can always adjust accordingly. So I'm having a slight issue when it comes to recording because I'm having to use the Craig bot that you heard earlier. But if I can get him working properly or find any kind of alternative.
But now that's the coming out story. You love Craig.
Yeah, me and this AI bot. No, I don't. I don't like it at all. It's caused nothing but issues. But if I can't do that, or if anybody's listening and knows a great way to kind of record audio on, because I have a Chromebook, you see, so it's got to be on Android OS basically. Yeah. So if anybody knows of that, let me know. Failing that, it's going to mean that I'm going to have to find a way to grab maybe a second-hand Windows laptop or something to be able to use OBS. But fingers crossed, we will hopefully find a way, because the plan is that we are going to have a break at the end of this series, which will end at the end of the year conveniently. And that if we did come back, it probably wouldn't be till end of January, start of February. So, it gives us plenty of time to gather stuff or whatever. And it gives Will a chance to put out, I believe you had suggested maybe clips, best of clips, things like that.
Yeah, if I've got time, I'll set some up. But I am very wanting to put some of the clips with some... I've listened back to some episodes, and I think it's just your Chromebook's audio. I don't think the audio's that too bad. All I've got to do really is go to an episode, crank my volume up to 30, and then I can hear it quite fine, 40 if needs be.
Yeah.
But it may just be the Chromebook, but the audio's not too bad.
I never said the audio was terrible, to be fair.
You said episode 3, I believe it was. Episode 3 or episode 1, and you gave me like a...
1 was pretty bad, but that was... That could have been just me, to be fair. Yeah. Don't listen to me, man.
Yeah, well, the season 1, I'm looking at the statistics. I looked at the analytics earlier as well. And a sizable proportion of people are making it to the end of episodes. For example, episode, I believe, 6. Episode 6. That was the highest view podcast we've done since episode 3. And that's on almost 60 views within a week. And basically, about 10% of the people, so about 6 people of the 58, have made it to the very end of the podcast, with 6% more on top of that signing off at the end of the episode review. So we did have a solid 15 people reaching the final 10 or so minutes of that episode. So thank you very much.
Awesome.
And then of course we had the
Yeah.
couple like dodgy episodes with like 27 views and but I'm sure yesterday's is doing quite well. It's out of the last 7 episodes, because I don't know if you know, in YouTube Studio when you upload, it kind of gives you the statistics up against the previous uploads, the previous 10, but we've only uploaded the previous 7, and it's currently 5 out of 7 with 24 views in about 27 hours now. And I do think that'll end up in about a week's time. I think it'll be fall short of the episode before, episode 6, but I do think it'll come out to about 45 views, which I think is warranted, because you weren't in that episode. Is there anything you'd like to say about that episode? Do you want to vent? Do you want to say some stuff that you disagree with or agree with?
No, because you'll just not be my friend if I do that.
No, come on. I'm genuinely really interested to know, because,
No, it was... I really enjoyed the episode. I did actually... I want to make a point of noting, by the way, that I wasn't on it, and yet still I stayed up till about 2 a.m. last night listening to the whole thing.
Oh, well,
because I wasn't on it, so it actually meant that it was completely new to me because I wasn't part of it. But it shows how my brain has kind of clicked into the podcast mode, because I found myself arguing with the TV on a couple of occasions. Like when you and DWG were saying things, and I was like, "Oh, I completely disagree. I'm gonna," and then started launching into a kind of counter argument, and then was like, "Oh, they can't hear me. They don't care."
What kind of stuff? What kind of bits?
Well, you know yourself that I don't really have any kind of issue with the Ascension of the Cybermen Timeless Over, and I really like it.
I do disagree.
So when
with
you guys,
him. I disagreed with him when he said Ascension was bad, but then Timeless Children was also bad. I was like, I do like Ascension, but I don't like the Timeless Children as much. But Ascension, I think that's a pretty strong story, and as do you. And I did disagree with him on air about that. So don't think I also said it. It
wasn't you. It was more the kind of fact that he then kind of addressed it as like, well, I don't think. I think it's universally acknowledged that Timeless Children's terrible, and I was like, I would counter that. I don't think it's universally acknowledged at all, except amongst, not my doctors and Hartnell was the first lot and everything. I know plenty of people that like it.
Let's make this a poll then. I think I want to see what the results are going to be like. But yeah, so I saw your comment. You did disagree with that. Is there any other moments that you kind of like?
Well, we've been over it a couple of. We've been over it a couple of times, but I do think you rated the Sarah Jane Adventures episode a little bit too highly, especially considering for the criticisms that you said. But that's neither here nor there. It's your.
No. I said this in a reply. You were saying all these things were
wrong. Yeah.
And then I kind of replied. You said, what was it? Joe's introduction scene. I said it tonally the shift wasn't the best, but I said it wasn't really a problem at the end of that moment. But I just said it was very weird, very jarring the way they did it, but it didn't matter at the end of the day. You also said I criticized the unit woman and Santiago. That was Jack DWG. I did agree. Okay. I did agree with him, but I definitely didn't go rip into them as much as he did. I did say the scene at the end of the flashback stock footage where Joe says all the countries, and then it goes country to country. I said that was a really nice moment and really good utilization of that story arc. We're iffy on the Grosk. I can back that. I did say they were a bit iffy. I said meh, but then I did say I like how they could sense the static energy, and I said I liked the
Artron,
the Artron energy. Bemoaned the stock footage. I didn't bemoan the stock footage. I said I referenced a funny comment on the Valiant channel that said that was like a joke that said they defeated them all with the greatest power of all stock footage. That was more of a joke, but yeah. Criticized certain dialogue beats. I think that was the opposite of that, to be honest. I praised the comedy of the dialogue, so I'm not sure where you got that.
Okay.
But most of those, I think, you just misinterpreted a bit. But then...
yeah, okay, fair enough, but I still, I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like I'm shitting on that episode, because I love Death of the Doctor. But it's just that, and again, without spoiling anything, I recently watched something that I thought I liked a lot better than I did. And when I watched it back, I was like, you kind of have to look at it with a critical eye and notice some things that are wrong. And
Like-
even though I wasn't on that episode, I have kind of watched back Death of the Doctor, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I love it, and there's a lot to love. I love Katie, I love Liz, I love the interplay, the dialogue's great. But the Grosk and the Shansheath are terrible. They're proper CBBC man in a costume prop stuff.
Beautiful, man. And
They
then-
are terrible.
Like I said, the moment where it like shifted between, oh, we're really nice to we're really evil, just conveniently, I do agree that it was a bit
I don't mind that. I'm fine with that. What I'm saying is the overall design of the Shansheath looks like it would be considered laughable for 1970s Doctor Who. Like the frickin' the what do you call them? The Wirren from the Ark in Space are a comparable costume, and it is just that. It's blatantly just a dude in a suit, and it doesn't even look real. It's like no, it looks it's proper. Like I know that that's what Sarah Jane was, but it looked like any other CBBC show. Like, you know, it's just, no. They're not an impressive monster. And yet Sarah Jane pulls off a few good, impressive alien monsters and, you know, enemies. Even when they don't look great, like the Trickster, it's kind of, you know, it's acceptable. But for me, those, you know, man in a vulture costume, nah. It looks like something out of 60s Star Trek when they had just a man in a gorilla suit with a horn.
I was just going to mention the Gorgon villain in that series, Sarah Jane Adventures. I do really like the Gorgon and whatever the story is called.
The Kudlak are great. The Nightmare Man's great. I mean, even I can't remember the exact context, but the kind of the girl that's just a regular girl but red. It's a really cool effect.
Eve.
The robots,
Eve.
you know. Yeah, Eve. That's right. The robots that are left on Earth, you know. There's some good stuff.
Out of interest, would you stand by the rating you gave Death of the Doctor a couple of weeks ago before we watched Class, an 8.5 out of 10?
8.5 out of 10, yeah. I'd say that's pretty much bang on.
Okay. So you're not a bit angry that it does for just the Class on the leaderboards.
You're not supposed to tell people that hasn't gone out yet.
Well, it's an Easter egg for the people that are listening along and that will listen to this back. Yeah, Class came to like an 8.5. And then Sarah Jane came to 8.75. So it's pretty much the same. And I do agree they're both good. They're both good stories.
No, it's a personal kind of choice thing either way. I'm not really as bitter about it as I made out. A lot of the time, like I said, I'm playing up to the fact of things. And at the end of the day, disregarding the spoiler for a second, like I said, when it came to Death of the Doctor, there's a lot to love. I recognise that, but at the same time, I think the issues that I have with it, and they are there, amount to more than just knocking off 0.5, if I'm honest with myself. And I, you know, it's a shame to have to do that, but like you said, I said 8.5, which would be what, like a let's see, the 3.5, 4 out of 5 stars or something.
That's a very good score, yeah.
Which is a bloody good score, especially for, let's be honest, 2 20-minute episodes of a kids' TV show. Do you know what I mean? There's no way I'd be watching an episode of, you know, I'm trying to think of what it's called now, Raven or whatever it's called, that terrible kids' TV show, and going, oh, this is proper 4 out of 5 stuff. This, you know, I'm not going to start a podcast reviewing episodes of Tracy Beaker and telling people they're great works of television, but, you know.
Yeah. But I'm really interested to see your thoughts on Christmas Carol. Man, you said
again with the spoilers, Will.
It's an Easter egg. It doesn't matter. I think we pretty much just given up since episode 4 about keeping the peace technically. But,
oh well.
Yes or no? Is it an 8 out of 10 or above?
What?
A Christmas Carol. Is it yes or no? 8 out of 10 or above?
So what are you asking? Have I rated it above 8 out of 10?
Yes.
No.
Man. Okay. Damn you. I can tell when we record this episode on the weekend, I will be furious. And the thing is, Xander loves this episode too. If you're still listening.
Don't get me wrong. When we actually record the episode, you will see there's a heck of a lot that I praise. But all of the criticisms that I have are things that I can't just go, like you were fine doing that, where you're like, oh yeah, I didn't like that, but ultimately it didn't matter. Whereas with me, it tended to be things where I was like, I can't just ignore that, and I don't like that, which kind of has to hurt it from a critical point of view. You know what I mean? And you can argue with me. You can say, "Yeah, oh, no, you were just being way too harsh. You were too critical." But I don't think at any point I've said anything that you could say was like, "Well, that's not true." It's all actual criticisms. But I'm not. I don't want to pee on anybody else's cornflakes. You know, I'm not yucking anybody else's yum. If you don't see those things, I don't want to be like, "Oh, this is why you shouldn't like it." Then fair enough. If it doesn't bother you, that's your takeaway. You know.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's fair. Well, saying that, you did kind of shoot me down in a ball of flames at the end of episode 2, I believe it was, where I gave Timeless Children an ascension of 5 out of 10.
Did I?
Yeah. You were like, "Oh, you're being harsh," and I thought, I know.
Again, half of the time I'm just acting.
Joking. Yeah. But you gave it like an 8 out of 10, and I gave it a 5, and you were like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna get the wrath of Michael Wilson here."
Yeah, I don't agree, but that's usually in that circumstance, it's more that I don't agree, but I'm not like, we are never going to speak again.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of airing my, extreme disagreement with the skull. But I'm sure you'll do the same when you see my score for the next episode we record.
Oh, man. Basically, if it's below a 6, because you did say it may be a decimal point score. If it's like 5.5 or 4.5, I'm going to be fuming, because episodes ago you were saying, I love the Christmas specials. I love the Christmas specials, and now I hate the Christmas specials. I hate Christmas Carol, and I think, what the hell?
No. Listen, just let me clarify something else.
Okay.
The name of the podcast is Hit or Miss.
Right.
So if you're working on a pass-fail basis, where anything above 5 is a pass or a hit, and anything below... and anything below 5 is a miss, then let's say I would still classify it as a hit.
Okay, so you're going to give this episode a 5.5 out of 10. Lovely. I can't wait for that.
I'm not telling you what I'm giving the episode. But,
okay, well, I can't wait for that. I reckon me and Xander are going to rate it really high, and then you're just going to come up with
I feel like I have to jump in because you're gonna. It's not a 5.5.
Okay, 6.5.
Without literally giving you the score,
So
that's as much as I'm going to say.
It's going to be a 6.5 or 7.5. I think me and Xander are going to rate it really high. So I did.
Yeah.
You kind of like teased that a few days ago, maybe a day ago, where I said that what do you call it? I know if each other was going to end second bomb. And
but you're forgetting clearly that myself and Adam Martin have agreed to review K9 and Company.
Yes, I've never seen that, so I don't know how good that is.
Well, let's be honest.
If it was
and we'll
good,
say
it would
that
have been renewed.
Yeah, if Dimensions in Time is currently bottom of the leaderboard, it might have company. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah, we'll check that on the season 1 leaderboard anyway. We'll add like episode 12 to it. I was kind of confused earlier when you said episode 11 or 12 for series 2, and I thought it's going to be season 11 just to keep it consistent. But if we're adding episode 12, you may as well just chuck an extra episode in to keep the consistency.
That was my thought, yeah, because we've got a huge list of things that we want to cover, and if you're available, I know you've already mentioned, without confirming anything, you've mentioned that you would be interested in reviewing the Pandorica Opens and the Big Bang, and that you'd be interested in reviewing the Rebel Flesh and the Almost People.
Season 2, I think. I know we're saying this public, but I think we should just say season 2 will be with you and Andrew, right? And it'll be a new guest every week, But then season 3, I would like to come back for that if my schedule does allow. Like, I'm only not doing season 2 because of my schedule. If I had a free schedule, of course I would continue.
Yeah, but as I've kind of pointed out, and again, I'll say this here, even though it's kind of public, is that there's a lot less work for you to do if I'm kind of taking the host duties. Yeah. And if you want to come on, if we do cover one of those episodes, and you want to be the guest that week, and then literally all you have to do is kind of watch, make a few notes, turn up, and then record the podcast. You know, it's a lot easier. So I'd prefer to have you on at least once as a guest in series 2.
I was thinking, one episode in season 2. And if we do season 3 afterwards, if season 2 does well, we could, well, even if it doesn't do well, we can still continue into season 3. And then season 3, that'll probably come out like May. And my schedule should be a bit more free in May. And then we could do season 3, me, you, Andrew. And then maybe just us 3 reviewing episodes as like a threesome. Excellent in there from
well, if not, we could certainly do that whenever the 8 new episodes air next year. have us
point,
as like a
yeah.
3-way reviewing team for those for sure.
By then it'll probably be season 4 unless we take a break. But yeah.
Yeah, well, we don't have to stick to any kind of strict schedule. If it's
True.
too much, we can do every couple of weeks, or
Yeah.
we can have a bigger break between series. Nothing set in stone.
Yeah. If you want, I can go through my notifications, just saying what people have been saying.
Yeah.
To the question that I said, what do you think of the trailer? Sheila Friend said, meh. Yeah. There's some beauty. I don't know if you've seen Sheila around, but they love Capaldi's Doctor,
No.
so yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. No, but they like Capaldi's Doctor and they don't like Baker's Doctor. They're not like not my Doctor, but they just like. They
Yeah, that's
gravitate
fine.
towards
I
Capaldi's Doctor.
I completely understand that, and I have a lot more patience and tolerance for that
Yeah.
than people who shall remain nameless who go, anything made after 2005 is crap, and it's not really Doctor Who. No, just get out of here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can
agree.
happily say, you know, and I've said this before, you know, without wanting to sound like, oh, you're going out of your way to criticize the woman. No, I criticize the male writer, and that's not me looking for a way to criticize Jodie. I think my biggest issues with series 11 and 12 are the writing, and I think that's a lot of people's main issue, if I'm honest. And so I don't judge anybody who says they didn't like series 11 and 12. I'm not going to turn around and go, oh, because you're sexist. I would go, yeah, I'll be honest, the writing is not the best, you know?
Yeah. It's all the writing. Like I was going to say earlier, everyone I know, I've said this in my tweet replies, but I don't know if I've said this on the podcast. Everyone I know who's been a Doctor Who fan has stopped watching in the latest 4 or 5 years. A couple, hang on, let me burp. A couple left with Capaldi in series 10 specifically, which just account for the ratings dive that it did take in series 10. But quite a sizable amount left either in series 11, halfway through series 11, and the person I know who made it to the very, made it to the depths, so to say, series 12, he stopped watching with Spyfall Part 1, which was an odd choice because I do like Spyfall Part 1. If it was any episode in series 12, I thought it would be Spyfall Part 2 or Orphan 55, which were the poorer episodes of the series, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you're going to get that all the time. Like I said, I'm sick of arguing with people, not just with Doctor Who, but with Star Trek, that are like, oh, how could you like it? You're just wrong. And it's like, stop telling me I'm wrong for liking something, dude. I'm not telling you not to not like something. You know, if you have that opinion, don't watch it. But don't, you know, devote every waking day to commenting on reviews of episodes or things that I'm saying, like, oh, I enjoyed this week's Discovery, and then I have to see like 15 comments going, it's not even real Star Trek, it's crap. Like, just leave me alone, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that in the Doctor Who community all the time, and then you have people saying, oh, the Jodie bots versus the NMDs, and I think I cannot stand that argument. I think you're not as bad as you're not both as bad as each other. The NMDs are so much worse. I think not my doctors are vile, but then you have the quote unquote Jodie bots, aka the Jodie fans, to put it as they are. I don't like the Jodie bots phrase, but they're fine. I don't see a problem. If some people want to come onto random posts unwarranted and say, no, you're wrong, this was a good episode, you're wrong, especially when series 11 and series 12 is airing. When I was on the Who Game Shows, Who Discussions account, I cannot go a negative tweet without someone coming on who's not following me to say, my opinion is wrong, series 11, this episode was good. And I just think, that's my opinion, I don't want you here. So whether or not my doctor, I have to tolerate it because there's so many people, and if they go step out of line, I think blocked, though I do rarely block. But with Jodie bots, it just seems I mute them more than block, but with their not my doctors, I block instead of mute.
Yeah, my general rule of thumb is basically I would never comment on something that was on somebody's personal page that they had just put. And I kind of had a set to with somebody who did that to me when I was like, I posted something to my Twitter page that was, I don't love these Dalek designs. And somebody commented with like, oh, another mono, wah, wah, wah. And I was like, dude, I didn't force you to follow me. Do you know what I mean? If you don't like what I'm saying, ignore it.
I saw that on my timeline and I thought, oh, he must have deleted that tweet. I thought, like he was a favorite account, so I couldn't see the tweet without following him.
Yeah.
And I thought, what must he have said? And then obviously
It was just that. It was the fact that like I was critical of the Daleks design, which I still kind of am iffy on. But the fact of the matter was that I wasn't abusive or anything. It was literally just I posted the picture and said I'm not sure about this design was my entire thing, and it was on my page. And then this guy was like, another moaner. Oh, you people are never happy. You can't be happy with what you've got, can you? And I was like, dude, leave me alone. I was just giving an opinion on my own page.
Yeah. But the thing is, I saw the screenshot of the live stream that a couple people did yesterday, and it was like Nerdotic and Null Zone and
those knobs.
Baldrek, and I think, and someone summarized that event so well. They said the use of the word fury of the fans or whatever, fury of the whatever in the title, and then basically the tweet said, I love having such a calm people, like a friend group, that actually appreciate the show, and it tells you more about the people that use the word fury. Like, you're clearly not doing well, so just get out of that mindset. And then you have these people, and I know I'm white and I know I'm straight, and then I think these people are given, like, they're making a they are a punching bag. They are making us a punching bag, and I just think, why are you doing
well, this is
just enjoy the show.
It's not specific to Doctor Who, and like I said, in particular, like the likes of Trek is literally one of my sworn enemies in that regard, because he's somebody that crosses the Star Trek and Doctor Who worlds and currently says that, you know, you're wrong if you like either of the new things that they put out. And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking not. I'm not being told what I'm not allowed to like. Do you know what I mean?
I used to, like, I'm not saying I was ever a fan of him, but I was just curious to see what he had to say each week. And after a couple of weeks, I thought, this is the same stuff over again. It's calling Jodie this name. It's calling Chibs the idiot. And I just think, this isn't content. This isn't critical thinking anymore. This is just you repeating the same thing. It's just you shouting into a microphone. And then also you having some random goats make a noise that doesn't even make any laughs. And I just think,
I tell you what it is. In a perfect microcosm, it's literally exactly kind of Trump. In that you find a fan base or a base that respond to you no matter what you do and what you say. You find them lapping up whatever you say, catchphrases and stuff, and then you just feed into that because they're sort of boosting your ego and your engagement and your cash or whatever else. So, like you said, there's no critical thinking. It's just a question of, you know, this week I've got to chuck in 3 goat noises, 4 nurse whoos, and 2, chin balls, and then that's all.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also scary how popular those kind of channels are.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. I mean, like you say, that's why I just don't have time for it. Yeah. But we've gone wildly off topic. Let me bring us quickly back round because we're fast approaching 2 hours.
That's an interesting conversation, actually. Thanks.
It was. It's an interesting, perhaps for another time. But yeah, I just want to say. I'm going to read this out deliberately because Doctor Who posted some information as regards the special. So get ready for the festive special, New Year's Day. We'll see a host of exciting guest stars. Chris Noth back as Jack Robertson, previously from Arachnids in the UK. Star of stage and screen, Dame Harriet Walter will make her debut alongside television star Nathan Stewart Jarrett. That's the guy who has recently appeared in Trial of Christine Keeler. It's not the guy I was thinking of, but I think he may have been in like Cucumber or something like that on Channel 4. Anyway, viewers last saw the Doctor at the end of Series 12. Her fate was hanging in the balance. She was locked away with no hope to escape. In the upcoming special, Yaz, Ryan and Graham are far away on Earth and having to carry on with their lives. They soon discover a disturbing plan forming which involves a Dalek. How can you fight a Dalek without the Doctor? Even with Captain Jack's help, the gang are set to face one of their biggest and most frightening challenges yet. Chris Chibnall, executive producer, boo, hiss, bah, says, we've crammed this year's festive special with an explosion of extraordinary acting talent. Where else would you get British acting royalty, a globally renowned US screen star, an international treasure of stage and screen, and one of Britain's hottest young actors just in the guest cast? Put these together with Jodie Bradley, Mandip Tosin, and Daleks, and you get a cast to be exterminated for. And things will explode, promise. So, yeah, that's the latest... Yeah, things will explode and look unconvincing, but never mind.
I was just going to go back to my notifications because I was going to go through that before we went on the tangent.
Yeah.
Ben Tyler, who we had on for the latest episode, well, episode 9. That's
Yeah,
to
good
come
guy,
out.
Ben.
Just because he agreed with you at the end.
He's a good dude.
No. I was making a joke. Yeah, I love Ben. He's been around for a while.
Oh,
That's great.
just to shout out as well, though, that Ben had heard rumblings, which doesn't seem to be confirmed in this trailer, but now I'm wondering, like, what happened to Ravio, to the Julie Graham character? Because if the fam still have that same TARDIS and everything, then I hope at least if she's not going to be in it, we get a line of dialogue
Ravio
explaining where
put
she's
himself
gone.
Ravi was
No,
putting
that was
himself up there.
no, that was Ko Sharma's. Ravio is Ravio's Julie Graham's character, the
I was
woman who was kind of
speaking-
flirting with.
I was
Graham.
speaking to the group chat for the chase, and I said, "What are your weakest links?" And everyone said Chibnall era, and I was like, "What bit of the Chibnall era?" And they were saying the characters, and I said, "I agree. I can't remember what. Maybe it's just you, but
I can.
I'm not going to name any names because that's unfair. But they weren't like trashing it, but they were just saying that's the weakest area. The people don't remember the character names, and neither do I. It's just
I disagree. I find no problem with it, as I just proved.
Okay, then what was the woman's name in Resolution?
Lynn, Lin, the girl who was
I-
possessed by a dog. I mentioned that earlier.
I would have had no idea. Fair enough.
Well, then you're not paying attention. That's not the show's fault.
It's not just me. It's not just me. Like I said, I had a whole group chat, and you know who's in the chase, and the people listening
Yeah.
probably know. So these are like respected.
Yeah,
popular
but
people.
I'm not dissing you guys. I'm saying it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because you don't enjoy the episodes, so you're not hooked in, and you're certainly not rewatching or whatever. But like, if you think about how you came to know the names of characters and episodes you love, it's probably more because you watched it over and over again and kind of got used to it.
Yeah, but then it's not the show's fault. It's just personal taste, really. But if an episode
That's what I mean.
If an episode can't hook you to rewatch over and over again, then
Which again, I disagree. It's fine. I'm fine with that.
How many times have you rewatched series 12?
A couple so far, but
Oh, wow.
even still, I rarely rewatch the brand new stuff, especially considering I've went like right the way back to the
Yeah.
beginning.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't feel qualified to say how I feel unless I've watched something at least a couple of times. Do you know what I mean?
Fair
So
enough, yeah.
I would never watch something once and then be like, well, that was crap. And just But this is what gets me a lot of grief because I'm like that, like I said, with New Doctor Who and New Star Trek. And I had some guy that was like, "Oh, you're just a complete sheep. You will like anything that they slap the word Star Trek on." And I'm like, "That's not true. I've got episodes I'm critical of, but at the same time,
Yeah, obviously this podcast wasn't around in series 11, but I don't know what your. It'd be very interesting to have been doing this in series 11 just to get your thoughts because you were not.
it would be
positive
very
about-
different. Believe me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I was not a fan of Series 11 when it went out, and to the point that at the end of the season, particularly with that finale, I was like fully like raging mad at the show. I didn't like it. Didn't think there was anything. Thought they'd made a misstep, but I thought that from the start with the like, you're not going to have any returning villains or ties to Legacy, and I was like, that's the dumbest freaking move you could possibly make.
That's
Because
what
if it
that's
was
what-
me,
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's what attracts some people to Series 11. The removal of mythology and Doctor Who.
which is fine, but my counter to that would be if you're introducing a Doctor who you know is going to have a fair percentage of people go, this isn't really the Doctor, then the dumbest thing you can do is remove them from the lore of the show. Really, what you should have done was lead straight in with as much recognizable stuff so you can go, no, you can like it or lump it, it is the Doctor. So if it was me and I was the showrunner, I would have at least chucked in a couple of, like, if it was me, I wouldn't have had, like, really piss poor, let's be honest, things like the Sim Shaw, what they call Distenza, who are a terrible creation. They're a rip-off of 1,000 sci-fi cliches. They're the Predator, they're the Herodian from Star Trek Voyager. They're not memorable at all. If it was me and I was doing that first story, I'd have chucked in anything recognizable from Doctor Who. Dalek, a Cyberman, an Auton, a Sontaran, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
and that was one
don't
of the biggest
create something piss poor.
Yeah, and that was one of the criticisms in episode 1 of Series 11, the lack of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, no TARDIS, well, waste of time. And I thought, oh, wow, that's pretty harsh, but in retrospect, yeah. And, of course, the TARDIS coming back in the Ghost Monument, a story that I do not
Well,
like.
just gonna say I would be fine with that if the Ghost Monument had paid it off with a great episode. But it's probably my least favorite episode of Series 11.
I rewatched The One Who Fell to Earth about 3 months ago, and I used to really like this story. I used to give it like a 7 or an 8. I just didn't like it this time around because I watched it straight after the Capaldi era, and after each Capaldi episode, I was blown away by like Capaldi's performance, the storytelling. I thought the tonally, the Capaldi era, especially in Series 9 and Series 10, well, especially in Series 8 as well, the whole thing, I really enjoyed it. And then to go from such great performances in the Doctor Force, and then to go straight into The One Who Fell to Earth, I just think this is such a step down. And even if it's not awful, even if it's not inherently bad, I just think this is a huge step down from Capaldi's era of Doctor Who.
Okay.
What's up?
I'm gonna say something potentially controversial, but don't you or anybody else in the chat or whatever attack me for this.
I'll go for it.
I would counter that I think I'm more fine with it in retrospect, because looking back, I would say that for the most part, barring a couple of truly exceptional stories, my thoughts on Series 10 and Series 11 are quite similar. I thought Series 10 was mostly poor and was a huge step down for Capaldi, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I agree. But I thought you said you liked Series 10 over Series 8 and 9 because you didn't like the standoffish Doctor.
Yeah, no, I said I don't like Series 8 particularly not the start of the season. Oh. But I love Series 9. I've always said that I love Series 9.
Right.
From the start, that's like my second or third highest series. But Series 10 was a weird one at the time, and it still is now, because like if you're looking at like we did the other day, these overall scores and stuff, it's not great. But at the same time, it has Oxygen and World Enough in Time, The Doctor Falls, that are probably 2/3 of my favourite stories ever. But they're in a season that for me is comparatively, for the most part, pretty weak. Like you go through those episodes, the pilot,
hang on. I was just gonna say we went off topic as well, so I thought, why not? Let's just make this a general rambling podcast, and I think people will just appreciate us being natural, just talking about just random stuff. And I think
sorry.
No. I think we should do what we were doing last episode, where we just go through each episode, hit or miss, and then we compare it with the amount of hits and misses from each series.
Why don't we do that for Series 10 and then Series 11, and then we can chuck in...
That's what I'm doing, Season 10, Series 11. I've got those up.
Yeah, so, and then we'll quickly talk about the leaks, and then we can go, because we've been here for like almost 2 hours. So.
Yeah. I'm very looking forward to listening to this back, actually. I think we've been speaking about some really interesting things. Okay, the first up, the return of Dr. Mysterio.
Oh, see, you know that I say that's a hit, even though it's not popular. I say hit, though.
I say hit. Yeah, I liked it. I don't understand the hate. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I would have to watch it back. I'd be between a 7 and an 8, but I would probably think 7's probably fairer.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 hits. The pilot.
Oh, the softest of hits.
It's a step down, but I'd give it a soft hit. Smile. The Magic Habit.
It's a miss.
Ooh. Yeah. I'd give it a soft hit again. So that's one miss from you, 2 hits. Thin Ice. I swear to God.
Thin Ice is a weird one. Slight hit. It saves itself. Yeah.
Hit from me. Knock Knock.
Oh. Knock Knock is a slight miss. But it's watchable back enough, but I would say a slight miss. But it's
a soft hit for me. It is a very controversial series. Not like controversial in the sense that ballsy decisions. I'm saying controversial in the sense that it's very middling. You can say it either way.
That's the thing. Even the hits, for the most part, I'm not like, glaring hit. It's like, it's a pass, I guess. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Next up, we have Extremist.
Oxygen, right? You've missed Oxygen.
I have missed Oxygen. Oxygen, hit or miss?
Superb hit. Probably my favourite episode of the season.
Ooh, that's interesting. I do.
Or if not, it's certainly in a battle with World Enough in Time and the Doctor Falls.
Yeah. Okay, I've just chucked up another poll, so if anyone's listening, go over to vote on that. Which series do you prefer, Series 10 or Series 11, as we go through the latest episodes? So I believe that's 4 hits, 2 misses from you so far. Next up, we've got the pyramid at the end of the world.
Yeah, we haven't. You've skipped Extremis this time.
Damn. Extremis.
Extremis, I'll give a hit.
Hit. I do really like this one. It'd be 7 or 8
Purely
out
for
of 10.
Missy.
Yeah, fair enough. Missy was great. Next up, the pyramid at the end of the world.
Huge miss. Sorry.
Wow. And I do like it, but the B plot, it does take a while to get going, but when it does, the cliffhanger, as I said in the previous episode, I really do love it. Okay, so that's a miss. The Lie of the Land, I'll go first. I'll say big hit. Big miss. Big hit, big miss.
I was going to say miss as well. There's one great moment, which is the Doctor sort of retrieving photos of Bill's mum. But that's literally the only thing I remember from that episode. And it's worth pointing out, they're talking about things that are not memorable. I have no recollection of what the monks' plot was, what they sound like, what they do, what they really look like. They were completely just forgettable for me.
Yeah, I agree. And as Andrew said in the chat, to me, to you, he said, stone him.
What for? What?
Series 10 was a good series, he says.
It has a lot of people who like it, but I just found myself week on week thinking, oh, this isn't great.
Yeah. Next up, well, it's not great, but it's still not a bad series in my opinion. Never mind. Next up, we've got Empress of Mars.
That's a hit.
Hit. The Eaters of Light. Miss.
You mean the Eaters of Shite, which is comparable to In the Forest of the Shite.
Yes. That's a big miss from you then, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, World Enough in Time.
Just before we go there, can anybody tell me what happens in the Eaters of Light? Because I swear I've seen that episode. I can recall
the Roman
one
Legion,
line.
The Roman Legion are disappeared, and they were being taken off by the big alien creature that was in a portal, and they came through every so often, and they have face paint and they have popcorn jokes, and it's a bad episode.
The fact that you're resorting to describing their physical appearance as part of the plot shows how thin it is.
Yeah, I know. Okay, next up, World Enough in Time.
That's a hit.
Bigger hit than that, I'd say.
Biggest
hit.
Massive hit.
The Doctor Falls.
Slight step down from World Enough in Time, but still a hit.
Big hit. I'd say the Doctor Falls is a bit better, but both episodes are great. Twice Upon a Time.
Step down again, but still a hit.
Right, so I think out of the 14 episodes, 12 without the specials, that's about 8 hits. 8 out of 12. That's
what did I give it?
Certainly more than I expected.
Okay.
Okay, Series 11, let's whiz through this. The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Despite everything I just said, the softest of hits.
Oh wow. Miss from me. The Ghost Monument.
That's a miss.
Miss from me. Rosa.
That's a soft hit.
Soft miss. I reckon it's in the UK.
Soft hit.
Big miss, even though the first 30-40 minutes of it was great, or not great but very good, and then the 15 minutes at the end ruined it. The Tsaranga Conundrum.
I'll get eviscerated for it, but soft hit.
Demons of the Punjab.
Oh, massive hit.
Yeah, hit. Kablam.
Solid hit.
Hit. The Witchfinders.
Huge hit. Best of the season.
It Takes You Away.
Complete turd.
Yeah, completely agree. The Battle of Ranskoor af Kolos.
An even bigger turd.
Resolution.
Huge hit.
So that's 6 or 7 out of 10. Wow.
See, it's comparable. That's what I said. Series 10 and 11.
Changing. Yeah, it's very up and down. As for the ratings and the poll, 10 votes. 70% have said Series 10. 30%.
I'm sure Series 10 will win.
Series 11, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Series 10 will win, but people don't tend to look at it as an average as much as, I mean, if I was voting, I would say, well, Series 10 because it has Oxygen, World Enough in Time, and the Doctor
Series
Falls.
11 was better. You said you'd put it just a bit over.
I said, when you look at them as an overall... Listen, What I said was, if you look at them as an overall season rather than individual episodes, I think the quality of Series 10 isn't that different than the quality of Series 11. But I think Series 10 ends way higher. Like, Series 11 starts well and then kind of dips, rises up a bit, and then drops off a cliff. Series 10 kind of starts iffy, hits the middle ground, and then ends really strongly. So...
yeah, fair enough. And I've also got a chat notification from Xander again, who's saying in the Ace Creeper live stream they've identified Andrew Vax from the Sarah Jane Adventures as someone in the prison.
Oh, okay.
I did not spot Andrew Vax, but there we go. Apparently so.
Makes sense.
So if we...
Just quickly as well, that's yet another alien design that's better than the Shansheet. So...
Moving on. Next up, we have... I know you've got earphones in, but I can still hear myself there, even through the earphones. Wow. I could hear the echo. So before we wrap this up, because I want to be out with you in the next 20 or so minutes...
Yeah, we'll quickly talk about the leaks and we'll give a spoiler warning.
And the pictures. Yeah, spoiler warning. Please don't leave because we need the views. Please stay, Xander.
Well, we're not going to spoil anything that isn't kind of out there. Let's be honest. People can see this for themselves if they want to.
Series 10 has taken the dominant lead now. It's on 14 votes and it's above 75%.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Okay, so would you like to take us through the news?
I will say that. Well, we've had a lot of things confirmed that were leaked earlier from an early edition that somebody got of SFX magazine as regards the Christmas special. But yeah, we've had the confirmation. Chris North returning as the Trump-esque businessman. Let's see. Confirmation that Chris Chibnall has said in his own words, and I quote, "It's a 70-minute episode. It is Ryan and Graham's final episode in the show, so it's big and it's epic. It's emotional. We've got Captain Jack back as well, so there's plenty going on before you even get to the future. The future is very, very exciting, I would say." He's not giving anything away about how Tosin and Bradley depart or if the door is open for their return, so obviously not. We'll have to watch. I know a couple of other quotes off the top of my head. I know that he said that the Dalek redesign is noticeably different and had hinted it's almost like there's a reason for that we'll explain in the plot, which is a relief, and has said that Revolution of the Daleks is a direct sequel, but not what to, just that it's direct sequel to something. But I think you alluded earlier probably to Resolution. We'll see. So, yeah. So I'm just quickly checking through. Yeah, mentioned the guest stars that we've already said are going to be in the Christmas... the New Year's Day special. So we'll move quickly on and say that there's been recording happening for the 8 episodes series, if that is what it ends up being, which is looking likely. And as Will blurted out earlier, we have confirmation now from a lot of set picks that the Sontarans are returning. Chris Chibnall, again in one of his quotes, had said that there are creatures who have appeared in the last 15 years that he thinks are overdue another turn. And we've mentioned a few times, including on the podcast, how the Sontarans became a bit of a joke and didn't get to be as menacing and threatening as they were. So you can see from these set picks and this redesign, it is a total redesign. Gone are the blue, sort of bulky Sontaran suits from the previous New Who era. And in what you're left with is something that resembles a lot more the classic Sontaran look. So it's kind of brushed metal, grey or steel or something, with just big domed helmets. We don't know what they look like underneath the helmets because obviously nobody got a picture of that. It looks to me in the pictures that some of the soldiers are in like bronze gold armor and some are in grey silver, but that could just be the lighting. So I wouldn't be prepared to kind of put money on that. And I think that's more or less all we've got. Confirmation from a couple of people who have said that they noticed Jodie and Mandip on set and some snippets of dialogue, but that's too specific for me to get into. I don't want to ruin everything. Not that it gives anything away, but still.
Yeah, according to Xander, John Bishop's in it, apparently.
Yes, yeah.
He's the chap running away from the Sontarans, apparently. So...
Yeah, there was another guest star, but I've already forgotten who it was, so we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, John Bishop was one of the confirmed guest stars.
Did you also mention the companions are leaving?
Yeah, I mentioned in the Christmas special, or the New Year's Day special.
Yeah, you're getting your high hopes there. The Christmas special. You're letting through your subconscious. Sin. Damn you.
Well,
Charlie.
I'm just gonna have to watch an episode on Blu-ray on Christmas Day, and they can suck my fat, angry thing.
Your carrot. Your carrot. Or
No,
your
my finger.
Your
My finger.
Okay.
Yeah, my angry finger. I'll be wagging my angry finger.
Lovely. Oh, Jesus. That's an image I want to get out of my head now. Thanks for that.
Oh,
Thanks
bless.
for that.
No, I was fully expecting it, and I deliberately didn't get my hopes up. And I've even been arguing with people who were like, "Oh, it could still be Christmas Day," all like for the last week. But I'm still way more pissed off than I thought I was gonna be, and I'm like,
You know what I'm going to be
if
watching
they couldn't
on
even
Christmas Day?
what?
A
Christmas Carol?
and I'm going to be loving it. I'm going to
Oh,
say
wow.
10 out of 10. Yes.
I mean, I will be watching A Christmas Carol, but it'll be the far superior version that has the word "The Muppets" before it.
Fair enough. Yeah, the Muppets movie, like great film. It's a great film.
It's an awesome film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about the news? Because I don't think there's
Well,
much
that
to add.
was quickly. I meant to mention earlier as well. Something we hadn't realised, that because we bumped, Will bumped the podcast episode 7 earlier yesterday. It was released. Obviously, the On This Day section became irrelevant, but it referred to today. So if you want to know the On This Day for today, go back and listen to that episode, because now it relates to this day. So
Yeah. The views have been very split over the 2 days. So I think about half of the people who've watched that episode so far will have been on the right days. So it's not too much of a problem. So yeah. If you do, like Mike said, just go back to the episode and have a listen to the 2 people listening along.
well, people might listen to this on
That's what
replay
I'm
or whatever.
saying,
So
yeah, this will probably end up about 30 views, I assume. I don't know.
cool.
What should come out to about 5. Now we peaked
But
at about 6 or 7 viewers, so it's gotta be when this actually uploads as like a video, I'm sure it'll have at least about 18, 19 views.
Yeah. If I could interact more, if I could multitask, I would, but my brain doesn't work that way. I would end up getting lost, and that would be terrible for people to listen to. So, apologies if you're in the chat. I can't really do 2 things at once, but I will go back when we're finished the stream and kind of see what people have been saying and interacting that way. Same on Twitter and Facebook.
Through my noties, and then we can wrap it up.
Go ahead.
So Ben Tyler said, "Loving the stream. I thought the trailer was really good. Lovely shot of the Daleks and plenty of cameos in prison. Like seeing the fam using the TARDIS as a sort of base of operations." At Who Game Shows, you don't like the Pating, whereas I'm waiting for it to escape from the prison with the Doctor and for the 2 to go on a road trip to Earth.
Did you just read your own tweet as if it was from somebody else?
No, that was Ben.
Oh, okay.
said,
Well, you said at Hugh Game Shows.
Also a tweet from at Who Game Shows. I don't know who this Donny is. He says the Christmas Carol is great.
Oh, whatever.
And then of course Wes said, "I want to know what the big green thing is," and then movie and a humor said Meglos. Joe Hall says Cyberman far left. Matt Whelan, my girlfriend, he said behind her a Pating, in front of her a Weeping Angel. To the far left looks like Tim Shaw, and to the far right looks like the Skithera Queen.
Skithera.
The one.
Oh, the Anjali Mahindra character.
Yes, that one. To the right, which I didn't see, but then he was also said, "I think I can spot a Maya from the girl who died to her diagonal right."
Oh, I see. Yeah, that would make sense. Big helmet.
And then the university, should I say? He said the Pating, the Teller, the Time Zombies, Tim Shaw.
Now recording.
Go.
Hey, thanks.
Why do you keep
The
adding it
Teller.
back?
Because I want to see if I can piece this together. Otherwise, we might not have a fucking series to it this rate.
He says the Teller, the Time Zombies.
It's not even recording. So
Time Zombies from the.
What?
Stop.
That makes no sense.
What?
The Teller is fair enough from Time Heist, but the Time Zombies from Journey to the Center of TARDIS were like alternate future versions of the Doctor and Clara.
Oh, I don't
so why the
know
heck
what
would they be?
saying. I don't know. Yeah, but why's the Pating there? But it's there.
It's just a species. It can be another person. It's not the same guy.
So Pating, the Teller, Time Zombies, Tim Shaw / Stenza, a glass covered giant worm thing, and a Weeping Angel. It says grass covered in and then Solvix said, "In this image, I see the things that look like a Weeping Angel, a Cyberman, possibly a Vundi, Varga planet, a Yeti. Just to say, this is why I think this looks like not what they definitely are.
The Uvodni are another thing from Sarah Jane, aren't they?
I think so. Andrew Hayden said, "Oh, I wish I had him on for this series, but he was busy." He said Silurian. Interestingly, I haven't seen this one. He said Silurian, Weeping Angel, also another one, Ice Warrior.
No.
Dalek and the Pating.
Yeah, so the definitely didn't see a Dalek.
No. Oh no, he said Ice Warrior and Silurian.
Now
Oh my
recording.
God, the spots.
There we go.
The guy who killed. I'm not going to read out his reply because that'll probably be screen recorded and taken out of context. But it's basically not my doctor in my nose.
Oh.
To the one I said, "Do you like the Timeless Children?" Conveniently, and interestingly, the results for that one was yes, 43.3% said they liked it.
Okay, that's
13.3% said it's middling, and also 43.3%, so the same, said no, they don't like it.
See, there you go.
So
I wouldn't say that's universally hated.
It's very 50-50. And to be clear, I did not say it's universally hated. Somebody else said that. DWG.
No, I didn't. That wasn't a dig at you. I was saying that I objected
I
to.
do think he made that as a joke. He wasn't being serious with that.
No, he was on about like.
like he says, how does it feel that your opinion was wrong? And I thought, he's not being serious. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, no, I wasn't attacking him either. He seems like a lovely guy. I'll look forward to recording with him someday. Yeah. But I would say I think he thinks it's more universally hated than it actually is. So.
Yeah. And also for season 2, I'll come back on for 2 episodes in series 2 if you don't mind. Awesome.
You might be running it at this rate if I can't get these freaking bots and things to work.
But the Flesh 2-parter, because
we mentioned I did say.
If in season 3 it's just me, you, and Andrew, then we'll have to utilize season 2 for the guests, or we could wait for season 4, but that's months away, and I want him on ASAP. So yeah. Well,
I've only got like 5 or 6 for series 2, but I do want to select some for myself. But if you wanted, who did you want me to Doctor Who guy?
Yeah, for the Flesh 2-parter. Yeah, I'll be really interested to see what he has to say for that. Okay.
Well, I can't have him and you on.
Yeah, I was
just gonna have to be one or the other.
I was just thinking that. Oh, that sucks. Okay, season 4. Sorry, Jack. It's gonna. Imagine if I'm just getting this guy's name wrong. Imagine if I'm just saying no. I do believe it's Jack. It's Jack. I'm sorry if I got the name wrong this whole time. But yeah, he's a top guy.
Well,
have him on season 4 then, I guess. If whatever. Happens
yeah.
We'll sort something out.
I mean, we can sort something out either way. But I'll chuck his name down. So. Yeah.
Cool. You do need some more names. Matthew Duncan said it depends on what they do with it in season 13, related to the Timeless Children. Paul came back and he said that's a really difficult question. Both are pretty poor for various reasons. I mean, he's not.
What was that?
Paul said that for which series do you prefer, series 10, series?
Yeah,
7?
see, that was my point.
Yeah, so Paul, so you do have some common ground with Paul then. You agree with Paul Morris? How do you feel?
Ugh, dirty.
And just to wrap up the polls that I've put up today, I put, what do you think of the trailer? Happy, middling, or sad? 78.8% said happy, 15.2% said middling, 6.1% said sad, which is a slight increase on the negative ones. But still, the overwhelming majority are saying happy, which is awesome. And then I've just went through the what can you see question. Do you like the Timeless Children? Yes is actually overtaken no now. Someone's just voted yes.
Cool.
And
that wasn't me, by the way, but I will go in and vote now.
Which series do you prefer? 70.8% are saying series 10. So, Mike, thank you again for coming on and helping me, and also being a great co-host or / lead host. So, yeah. Xander said, where on the hell was the teller? And I was like, yeah, I agree. Where is the hell?
Because he's got a very noticeable, you would notice him because he's got like eyes that point out the side of his head or something, hasn't
Yeah, I have no idea what. I think it was Andrew or someone who was talking about on that one. But yeah, I didn't see the teller. Yeah, Andrew Vax could be an interesting one. There's some serious Sarah Jane Adventure references in there if the predicted ones are actually what is rumored to be. But yeah, I do want to notice the lack of Torchwood villains in there. I'm surprised they didn't have the Weevils back in there somewhere. Though they may do, but the Weevils, Chris Chibnall loved writing for this, so I'm surprised they're not back too.
Sorry, I was just blocking this idiot on.
Oh,
Anyway,
the one I said that had the negative replies.
Yeah, to the "Do you like the timeless children?" So yeah, I haven't got time for that. There was literally. I feel dumber for having read it. There was nothing critical or valid in that.
I'll be honest.
he's blocked.
I've looked at that guy's profile earlier, and it doesn't look negative. Actually, I think he's a satire account, but maybe I'm just misinterpreting. But it looks like satire. I think he's just TTP.
Well.
But if he is or if he's not, there you go. So Xander said, and
This poll is changing as we go. It's so weird to watch.
Which one?
The Do you like the timeless children? It now says yes 45, no 39%.
Wow.
So yes took a slight lead and now it's losing. It like no's catching up again. But I have just retweeted it, so I don't know if it's maybe my followers that don't like the episode that I'm trying
that'd be interesting, yeah.
to stand for.
Well, it's like that meme right back at you, Buckaroo. I love that meme. Xander said, and it's my episode to record next, which goes up next Sunday. Smiley faces. So yeah, Xander's
Yay
next time. So yeah, next
Doctor Who, by the way, is bizarrely now trending top in the UK.
Yeah, I was
so
just gonna mention
seems like people have kind of gotten used to New Year's Day.
almost 8,000 tweets. Lovely.
Oh, well, it's not quite top, but it's one of the top ones, let's say.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm looking at the schedule now, and the next episode we have going up is the one with you and Kemp and also Adam Martin, which should bang in the views because Adam is a popular guy, and also because we have the wonderful Andy Kemp. I love Andy, man.
I think that was a good episode as well.
Yeah, we were playing the game the other day, and it's fun playing Apex Legends with him. So yeah.
Ah, cool.
Big shout out to
cool.
Andy Kemp there. And the next one
if anybody, by the way, listened to us that's interested and they want to know who got voted off of Strictly Come Dancing, stop listening now if you don't want spoilers. It was Clara, so I just checked because I actually do care.
Jenna Coleman.
No, Clara Amphel, the Radio 1 DJ.
Okay. Well, I did disable the ratings earlier, but we have amassed 5 likes and 0 dislikes, which is lovely. Considering they're not active, 5 likes is very impressive. That's good. So that's episode 8. Then episode 9 is us and Lone Who Ben.
Yes, yeah, we've got that's in the can, but it's we're waiting to release it.
Yes, the next.
And then we're recording
the spin-offs as well. So we've already done Sarah Jane. Next up, it's.
Are we just straight up announcing the next few episodes now?
Yeah, we may as well. Next up is Torchwood. The first episode.
Torchwood, everything changes. The first episode.
And then episode 9 is For Tonight We Might Die from Class. Then
the first episode of Class.
Episode 10 is with Xander. That's A Christmas Carol.
A Christmas bag of shit.
Then is.
I'm joking. Before.
Then there's episode 11, Twice Upon a Time with the Gallifreyan, but I heard he's having some issues, so hopefully he comes back. Comes back well. I do hold hope with that because he is a co-host on the Reappraisal podcast, which I will be going on to record Asylum with the Daleks soon.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully he comes back by the time that.
Don't be plugging other people's podcasts. We were knocking about the idea of reviewing that one in series 2. So.
Oh wow. Well, I do like Asylum with the Daleks, so he doesn't like it. He's been like really dismissive of it. And I think it's a good episode, man. Yeah,
it's not popular in the fan base at large, I would say, but I don't understand it either. I love it.
Same. I'd probably give it a 7.5, 8 out of 10. Probably 8.
I already did rate all the episodes yesterday because I was, I was working out averages for the season.
That cough. When you listen to that back, that would be bombastic. Jesus. Okay, carry on.
That's so weird. Sorry.
Yeah,
so yeah, I was rating because I was trying to work out average scores for the season. I think it was was it Ben who'd started that, or was it Mario? One of the two had got me sort of started, so I spent way too long doing that. And
were you
when I
doing?
came to Asylum of the
Averaging-
Daleks, I was
Oh right, yes.
What's
In the
that,
group chat, you were averaging all the series, and you had to rate each
Yeah, yeah.
episode. Right.
and then give my sort of
I'm still
weirdly
fuming
enough
you gave
my
series 5 second or third from Bomb. I was fuming. I was like, I need.
I really didn't like Series 5. I'm sorry.
So you're telling me series 5 is worse than series 11? Are you, Michael Wilson, telling me series 11 is better than series 5?
Well, I would probably let's see. There's an uneven number of episodes, so it's not really a fair comparison.
Ah,
But
don't start this.
If Series 11 had 3 more episodes and they were good, then definitely.
Right, let's whiz through this. Let's whiz through this. I want to be gone by
Oh,
for
okay.
10 minutes. Just hill miss, no explanation. I'll just do the same. The 11th hour.
Hit.
Hit. The Beast Below.
Soft hit.
Hit. Victory of the Daleks.
Miss.
Soft hit. The Time of Angels.
Miss. Oh no, I killed him!
Again. I am officially Captain Jack. Oh yeah, I am back. Oh Jesus, I'll be back at Christmas, guys. Flesh and
New
Stone.
Year.
Yeah.
Miss. Sorry. Hey, these are just opinions, and again, I haven't rewatched it for a long time. I could change my mind if I watched it back.
It's better than Blink in my opinion. Blink is a bit overrated.
Blink is slightly overrated, but I still would say it's better than that
Fair
two-parter.
The ending scene with Amy kissing her doctor. Jesus.
Ugh. Don't get me started.
The Vampires of Venice.
Hit.
Cool, a hit for me. Amy's Choice.
Okay, grab a pillow. Miss.
And that's all for the live episode. I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm joking. Oh,
Don't do that.
Oh, how is that a miss? Okay. The Hungry Earth.
Miss.
Cold Blood.
Miss, but it almost redeems itself at the end with the sort of shock reveal of at least killing off Rory, or so it seemed.
Vincent and the Doctor.
Hit, definitely.
The Lodger.
Hit.
The Pandora opens.
Soft hit.
The Big Bang.
It's a miss. Well, it's been nice knowing you, everybody.
Oh dear.
I think we've officially evolved from me being kicked off the podcast to Will literally is just about to find some kind of a weapon of some kind and come round to my house and beat me to death or something.
And Xander just said, I'm going to kill you there. Christmas Carol is the best special.
Oh, no, it's not. Come on. No. I loved it a lot more, I think, than when I watched it back. In the past, I've loved it way more. But yeah. But then again, I think a lot of these things depends on mood and when you're watching, and yeah. Although I haven't disliked any Christmas special, to be fair.
Last Christmas is closest to that.
Last Christmas is my favourite of the Christmas specials.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think we should wrap this up. We've been going on for hour and a half. Pretty
Too
much.
long.
2 hours.
2.5.
Yeah. Well, Mike, thanks for coming on, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
No worries. Well, we're recording again. We're recording tomorrow, aren't we? Again, so that'll be our record for. Christmas Carol. There you go. So.
I'll be recording tomorrow. I just said to Xander when we rewatch we have to rate it high to bring up the score, but then I just said when we rewatch, and then I thought that was like last week, but then I realised it is Sunday, and then we are recording tomorrow, which is slightly out of sync, so that's why I thought it's gonna be next Saturday, but no, it's tomorrow.
No, it's tomorrow.
I'm gonna have to watch it tonight. Oh, we went on for way too
long.
Well, I'm gonna have to go and watch it. Mate.
Good luck.
Xander,
okay, sorry.
Xander, you're listening to this. Rate out 10 out of 10. Thank you. See you guys in a bit. I hope you did enjoy listening to us for 2 hours.
Just very quickly, just to wrap things up in a neat little bow. The Revolution of the Daleks first full trailer, hit or miss? Ooh, controversial.
I don't have any strong opinions about it.
I would agree. I clicked on your poll and hit the sort of exact in the middle face. But you know what it is? I'm so fucking pissed off at this whole New Year's Day thing. It's getting a miss for that on its own.
Yeah.
So
I think the Mando Easter eggs is very nice, with resemblances, but and there are some great stuff about the CGI and certain bits of it, and also the callbacks.
Oh, it would be a hit if it was going out on Christmas Day, but
Yeah.
on New Year's Day it suddenly becomes just massively shit. So you know.
But on the trailer, there's nothing really to get you excited about because we already know Jack's back. If Jack hadn't been announced and like talked about for a while, and this was his big reveal, it would probably be awesome. And then also, if we didn't know about Amanda Gill and Tosin Cole leaving, the moment where the...
No. If we didn't know about Tosin and Bradley Walsh leaving, don't even put that energy out there.
Oh,
don't
crap,
you
yeah.
attack my future wife.
Yeah. Oh no! I got that wrong because the creature jumped on her back. So I was gonna say if we hadn't known that she was leaving, but she isn't, it would have been a really impactful moment. But because we know she isn't, or supposedly, it could be a massive throwback.
She's going nowhere.
It could be a mind games. I mean, it could be really impactful, but unfortunately, it does fall flat. And like I said, the laser effects were not good.
Oh, hang on a sec. I'm getting a brief audio leak of actual from the actual special. It turns out, oh no, Yaz, in this scene, it looks like she's just killed Graham in front of Ryan, and I've got official audio of his reaction. Yaz, don't do that. I'm devastated. How could you kill Graham? Oh no. I'm never going to eat chips again.
It would just be, Yaz, no. How could you do
Yaz.
that?
Yes, how could you? I'm leaving the TARDIS now. Can't believe it.
For someone who defends the latest series, Howland 2 for what, Nairland 2 for whatever it is, you do criticise some of the acting, Jesus. But yeah,
I just
right.
don't like that. I really hope people don't think I'm just being racist. I'm playing it up, how much I dislike him, but at the same time, I really don't think he's that good of an actor.
Yeah.
He always strikes me.
I completely agree. Tosin Cole is not a good actor, and
he just strikes me as ironically, he strikes me as an actor that belongs on Hollyoaks, despite the fact that it was actually Mandip that was previously in that show.
I was just going to say that you can see why they're in soaps. Like, well, Mandip Gill, of course, is probably the strongest link out of the current companions. Especially in Series 12. She didn't do much in Series 11, but in Series 12 she really came into her own.
I would disagree. I mean, look at episodes like Demons of the Punjab again.
Yeah.
I think Series 11's definitely, a lot of people need to go back and rewatch it. There's more to like there when you know what's coming, I think.
But the thing is, I was going to say the same thing about them, but then I thought Jenna Coleman also started out in like EastEnders or whatever it was. And then...
Emmerdale.
Yeah. Emmerdale, that's it. And I think she's one of the best actresses in the UK right now, and I think she's fantastic. She's brilliant in Victoria. I loved her portrayal, especially in Series 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'll never be prejudiced against... I mean, look at Billie Piper, whether you like her or not. She was a pop star. She wasn't even an actress. And most people's favourite companion, and one of my favourites, Catherine Tate, was regarded as, oh, it's going to be terrible. She's a comedian. It'll just turn it into a joke. And she ended up
to be great.
spectacular. Yeah.
And I try to get some general consciousness about them. So I typed in the actress, and then I put Reddit, and then I clicked into the Reddit page, and then oh my god, there's no discussion posts. It's just pictures of them, and it's not
of
very.
Who?
Or if you go onto Google now, and you type in any actress, any actress.
Okay.
Type in Jenna Coleman. Type in Jenna Coleman right now. Jenna Coleman Reddit. And then click on Jenna Louise Coleman.
In Google?
Yeah, that's the top one. Just put in Jenna Coleman Reddit. And then...
I haven't read it.
I was going on there. No, you don't need to go onto Reddit. Just go onto Google, type in Jenna Coleman Reddit, and then click on Jenna Louise Coleman Reddit. And then I was expecting discussion posts, but the very first thing I see today is... Mike, are you there?
I'm here.
Have you clicked onto it?
Yeah, but I'm... Oh, you dick. Why was I expecting anything different? You son of a bitch.
That's what I'm saying. I swear I was going on there for discussion posts. No other reason. I was going there for discussion, and I got hit with that. And I thought, wow. I thought, why? And I thought, What program?
Well, you've obviously not. You've obviously never been on Skinpedia or whatever it's called, where it just you type in an actress and it literally tells you all of the TV shows or film scenes where they're topless.
And why do you know that?
It was because I used to watch this comedy TV show and they found it hilarious because not only is it like a Wikipedia for like, oh, such and such, it's so precise. So you could type it in. I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head. So you would type in Kate Winslet and it would come up. Oh. Kate Winslet is naked in 1998's Titanic from 1 hour and 15 minutes in to 1 hour and 17 minutes in. And it's like somebody has been so specific and so exact with this.
Yes, now we're going to be
so I find it kind of hilarious.
Misogyny. Yay. I just pray. I pray everyone just takes it in good taste, man. I
was criticizing the sad people who go around specifically, what's the word, time grabbing, where girls are going to be topless. It's ludicrous. I'm not saying, oh great, everybody, let's look at all the topless women. I'm saying there's better things to do than create a resource where you have to point people to the exact minute of a film where, when he gets their top off.
So do you not go onto Reddit that often?
I don't think I ever go on Reddit. It's generally regarded as a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? So
well, that was a good first experience for you, wasn't it?
I can't remember the last time I've ended up like clicking through when it's been from Quora or something, when it's been like a Star Trek discussion or something nerdy. So that tends to be my whole experience. But then it just quickly devolves into arguments anyways.
Yeah. Right, I think we should wrap this up. Oh,
yes, we should. Before you try deliberately and get me cancelled, just because I'm not going to give A Christmas Carol 10 out of bloody 10. You're going to try and get me cancelled for misogyny and racism.
All the arguments tomorrow.
You go and watch that episode and be critical. Look.
No. Yeah, I'll go in there, and if I don't like it, I won't like it. But every single time I've rewatched this one, it's like Voyage of the Damned and the Christmas Invasion. And the Snowmen, those 4 stories I have never disliked.